Sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show, there are the things I want you to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
Oh, Mustang. Okay, all 5 people, welcome to the live.
Hello.
First of all, did you guys even get a notification? Because sometimes when I'm doing things, right? Remember, YouTube only sends out 3 a day and stuff like that. So I don't even know if people are getting notifications or not. And I actually don't even know who's on. Probably a lot of people. I don't know. Right. Okay. So I have to say this before we get started. So Alexa had said to me, I'm not familiar with your guest or your guest or who's that or whatever, because my guest said special guest Eileen the cone. And obviously in the right hand corner, if you guys remember from Cavalcante, that's Eileen the cone. Oh, that cracked me up. So if anyone remembers from Cavalcante case, it's Eileen was the cone that JLR was pretty much staring at for a good week there, and it became our friend. Hi guys.
We stared at that cone for way too long.
We stared at that. Well, actually, I mean, considering he wasn't there for most of those days, right? Because he had went by them, basically got out of that whole freaking surrounding thing there. But Charmaine's with us tonight, Alexa's with us tonight, and of course Ivy Rose is with us tonight again. Actually, this is all of us that were on the other night, now that I think about it. On
Just
there.
missing Travis.
Hey?
Just missing Travis.
Or he's too busy playing with sausages and stuff like that right now. The smash going.
There's a little missing space for him right there.
Right in the corner.
Right under Sunny, where he belongs.
Anyways, you guys, anyways, how you guys doing anyway? It's Friday. Happy Friday.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Yep.
I'm exhausted.
And,
Shall
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, how are you, doggy?
Yeah, I know. That's our 6th guess. Frick Eileen on there. I think Charmaine said she just got home not too long ago. Mm-hmm. Adam, were you babysitting or working today?
Well, I babysat all day today.
Yeah.
Among things coming out and trying to follow stuff and message Sunny. And y'all know when you message Sunny, for anyone that's never messaged her, she will either look at your message immediately, like without a beat. She's like, boop, she's right there on it. Or like 4 hours go by. And that's how I know Sunny got a nap today.
Yeah, right. That's pretty much. I was just going to say, and that's exactly what happened, Adam. When I saw that, I remember that I had gone to sleep after the live because I was like, gee, it's still only this time, and there's no way. Because I was just saying to Charmaine before we came on, like, when you're sitting there making videos, creating videos, looking at footage, watching all these different things. And my husband got up at 6 and today, or because he started work about an hour later and whatever, and then I did a live. And then by that time, like I'm mentally exhausted. So I'm like, I'm going to have a live. And next thing I know, I'm like, what the frick are all these documents that you've sent to me? I'm like, what? And then I realized most of them were just documents that were already out there, but then those are the ones that were, sealed again, if I'm not mistaken, and
redacted. They had been sealed and then they were redacted.
Sealed and redacted. But we had already had those ones originally. Is that not correct?
We didn't have the affidavit. And so we got the affidavit. We got a very redacted or a very not redacted version of the motion to transfer that we saw last week.
Yeah.
And then like that one that was just like a picture.
Where
they literally just kind of zoomed in on the face tat of Jones,
Jones.
Randy
Jones. Yeah. Because that was like we already had that.
Yeah.
But obviously maybe they had to change a little bit up, but
right. But then we got we also got the motion to continue for continuance,
right,
which we'll go over in a little bit. But I'm like, I want instant gratification when I message Sunny, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's been up all night now. She has to take a nap.
I legit wouldn't ignore you if I knew that you sent me
I know
all that stuff. But I just remember sleeping, and then I got up and I started doing dishes. I kind of actually know. I feel like, I think that might have been what I did. I think I ended up getting up, going to the washroom, then going out the other door. And then I just started doing dishes because I remember it was like 12 or something. And I just started doing dishes, and I'm thinking, okay, I got to make dinner and all that. But anyways, however long it was, it definitely was 3 sheets to the wind. And then I just had a nap for a couple hours again after looking at different articles, but then going and making dinner and husband home. And I made homemade onion rings again, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The beer battered ones.
Oh, nice.
Amazing. Like, honestly, they're just like, there's nothing better than homemade onion rings. Honestly, they're just so fluffy.
I only like the onions if they're cut real thin.
Yeah, not me. But I mean, when I say thin, like they're just, they're definitely not like thick ones.
I want the breading. I want the breading.
Oh, really? I like them both. Hey guys.
Sorry.
Sunny, is it okay to send you a doc pic? A what pic?
He means a dick pic.
No, a doc
or a document.
A D pic, or a D pic, as I like to call them.
I think it's probably saying a D pic. Are you meaning D pic?
Hey,
no, I'm good.
D pics make the world go round, right?
Well, what's funny is that Ryan in the family group chat, the English side people, he sent this picture which looked like he was sitting on the toilet with showing the top part of his D. And so my eyes are still blurry. I can barely see. And I'm like, leave it to Ryan to send the top part of his D. And instead of, because he's known to send his own shits and stuff like that, right?
You want to show us?
Yeah, no.
That is phenomenal. So
anyway, I said to my husband, like, honestly, why don't you show Ryan what a real D looks like? And he's like, you thought that was a D? And I'm like, well, yeah, kind of. Because I really, like, I was zooming in for a second going, but it was kind of blurry. And he's like, that was his thumb. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because they're always doing stupid shit like that, So, I was kind of convinced that it was a D on there. Anyways, I know. Oh, is Metal Mama Michelle here? Oh, there she is.
Hey, Metal Michelle.
Yeah. A couple times I was sitting there thinking about you recently going, like, at Christmas time, Metal Mama Michelle was in here. Then all of a sudden she disappeared on there. Oh, wait. Adam, did you ever get your Christmas present?
I did not.
Really?
I didn't.
I got mine.
Yeah.
Finally.
I told you it wasn't there. It wasn't there. I don't know. But I will say I'm at my condo so infrequently. I'm surprised I get any mail there.
So
Hey, Charmaine, I'm about out of ketchup. So.
I was just going
she,
to say something.
she ain't sending it
But
shit.
I might have to give you a new ad. I might have to have you send them to where I'm at most of the time.
That'd probably be better.
Ooh, huh. It said the Christmas gifts was picked up
I
in a
know.
locker, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I know. Sonny told me that. I didn't get it.
yeah. Let's look at that. And like so before us three keep talking, and you know,
We can talk about that later. We can talk about it
well,
later.
we got two people underneath us that aren't on camera, and then you kind of.
Alexa is putting her kiddos to bed.
I think she's
Aw.
back there. Hey, Alexa.
And we have Ivy Rose as well, which I.
Yep.
Hi, Ivy.
Hi, I'm multitasking. I forgot to make food until on here, and then I was like, wait, I'm hungry.
You you know what? You do that. So you said you're making some food?
Yeah, just in the air fryer.
I had cereal.
Sounds nice.
Onion rings, and I made soft tacos. Mm-hmm. That's what I made for dinner tonight.
I ate a really late lunch, so I haven't eaten yet.
No. Okay.
I'll eat after I'll get hangry about halfway through the live. I'll say something mean to Charmaine, and then I'll be like, "Oh, I should probably eat."
She'll probably say something mean back, and we had pizza. Yuck! Oh, I'm so pizzaed out.
I was looking at so I'm cheap and I'm into like genealogy stuff, so I just use my mom's ancestry account because I don't want to pay for one. And she got the DNA thing done, and apparently there's like a genetic thing for whether or not you get hangry, which I never would have guessed.
Oh.
Hers is that she doesn't, and I don't think I get hangry, but I haven't done my DNA yet.
I don't.
I get hangry, and I get whatever the version of when you're not caffeinated would be.
I get
withdrawal.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
When I don't sleep, like if I don't sleep for a while,
Oh
I
yeah,
cry a lot.
me too. I get really bitchy if I don't get enough sleep.
I don't.
Mustang said I had a beef jerky for dinner. Mustang, what was his name?
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't.
I don't get those.
Ryan's been waiting for his 23andMe kit to come. Apparently, it comes from Germany, so he's been waiting.
I did not know that. It's crazy the amount of traits like that are supposedly genetic. Like there's a ton of them that you never would think about.
Right, like whether you like cilantro or not.
Yes,
My husband hates cilantro. Go ahead.
It's like soap for like some people.
That's what he said.
It's apparently genetic.
Yeah. And if you are a morning person or a night person, of course they're all like, you probably are this, not you definitely are. I can't think of them now, but there's a ton of them.
Well, when I got my 23andMe one, it even had like the thing about whether you were more inclined to have back hair.
It's disturbing.
Really?
And I'm not.
Now that you said that, I remember one of them was like whether or not you had a patchy beard. Of course, I don't have a beard, so
I have my beard every now and again. Husband says,
I think my mom had the gene for a patchy beard, but my brother has a beard, and his is pretty full. So I don't know.
What's a patchy beard? Is that like the little,
like where you can't grow your beard like full everywhere, kind of patchy?
oh, a patchy beard? I thought you were talking about like a native Apache.
patchy beard.
Patchy.
Isn't that funny?
I too get a patchy beard.
Apache. Yeah.
People usually don't have much facial hair, I don't think.
My husband started off with two or three hairs that I had. I swear to God, now it's like, oh, honey, can you just pluck my Apache beard? And he's like, well, on which chin, honey? I know. But yeah, that's, so I have to say this. So the other day, so my husband hates cilantro, right? Now I like it. I don't mind it at all. It's kind of got this mintier taste. But okay, so now in England they have this sauce. It's called a mint sauce. So I remember this chick Ellie. She was just scooping that shit on the roast beef, everything, like as if the jar she owned it. And I remember tasting it and not liking it. So I decided, my husband, when he saw it in this store last week, he's like, "Oh, mint sauce," right? British thing. But anyways, so I dipped my finger in it and I taste it. You know what the fuck it tastes like? It tastes like scope, like Lister, like scope.
It's because it's
And and I'm like, so you like this shit, but you don't like cilantro, and you don't like there's certain things that he doesn't like. He doesn't like root beer because he says it tastes perfumey,
it's
and he
just,
doesn't. What? Go ahead.
root beer is disgusting. Well, I don't like any. But does he think that cilantro tastes like soap?
I knew I should have kept you blocked from yesterday, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Mhm. That's the word he'll use. So, but that mint sauce, most disgusting shit ever. It's like eating. It's like drinking scope to me, and yet they're just sitting there going, "Nom, nom, 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 nom." And I'm just like, how? How do you like this?
I
And
think it should be illegal to do mint and chocolate. Like, who does that?
oh, did you just say mint and chocolate?
Yes, it's so
Like-
gross.
Like a York peppermint patty.
Anything.
Oh
mint
my
and
goodness.
I don't like that either.
I
Oh,
I'm not a fan.
chocolate after I brush my teeth. Ugh.
oh, you know what? After Eights is, I never was a big mint fan, but After Eights and me, that's like, I could make love to those After Eights. I just love them so much. It's like pulling out a little package and then just sitting there and you have
Probably
a
a
whole
Canadian
box.
thing.
Oh, I don't know.
What
Anyway,
makes
I
them
don't-
even worse is if you eat them right after you brush your teeth.
Oh,
It's disgusting.
right.
It's
You
just
might as
this
well
side
smoke,
around.
smoke a cigarette after you brush your teeth.
Which I do. So
Hi, Frank.
whatever.
Cordy's in the house, you guys, too. We were showing his elephant video the other day. He had, when he was in Africa. So I say he still. So when he was in Africa, yeah, so we were playing the thing. Now, Cordy, I wasn't prepared actually for today, but Cordy's like, you should consider playing a little happy thing at the end of each live type of
I
live.
like that.
Yeah.
I
And
like
I
that,
said you
like a
would.
little positive thought to leave like
So-
such a negative heavy thing on.
Absolutely. So, Adam, I said to Cordy, well, maybe I can get Lazy Butt there to do that since he doesn't help me with thumbnails hardly anymore. So I was like, I'm going to ask Adam if he can do that. So, Adam, during tonight's live, could you go find a funny little video? I don't give a shit what it's about. But yeah, just for the fact of, well, Cordy's in the house now. And because I know that that's something, because Adam and I think it's, I don't know, but Adam's, and Lewis and that, they're always sending them like funny TikTok things in the thing and whatever that just make you laugh at the end of the day. So Adam, if you happen to find a funny TikTok thing or something like that we could show.
To watch the tight pants one, husband. I think that's really funny, and I think
Which
think
one? I
I
never
did as
seen it.
well.
I
I
never
think
seen
it's important that everybody in here that knows Nick McClelland needs to see that particular.
Oh,
I would have to go back so many months back in my things to find that original video.
But I just sent it the other day, so
Yeah, she just sent it the other day again, like yesterday or the day before.
I could totally send it again in 2 seconds flat. It's
I
so fun.
blocked Charmaine.
well-
I blocked Charmaine.
wait, Charmaine,
I
what's
can
it from
send
though?
it then because she liked it too.
Charmaine, though, is it from another YouTuber that made it?
No,
Is it a
Saturday
TikTok?
Night Live.
It's a Saturday Night Live thing.
But it's
Matthew
not something that we
McConaughey.
can play, right?
Absolutely,
Without it being
absolutely,
copyright, demonetized.
100%. Saturday Night Live is free for all. It's all good.
Oh, is it? As long as it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
can't be on TikTok and be copyright. It's
Oh,
No.
it can.
Yeah. It has a song or something to it. It
no,
will
they're
be.
just singing it and they totally wrote it.
Oh,
it's-
okay.
It's fine.
So, and you're
Oh,
saying
that
Saturday.
one. I thought you meant the Nick McClelland.
Well, I haven't seen it. So.
Just because the tight pants remind me of Nick McClelland, and it just so happens that Matthew McConaughey in that video just happens to look similar to Nick McClelland. So it's just extra funny. So
Oh.
funny.
Well, maybe Charmaine should be in charge of finding the funny videos.
I'll stand it right now.
Yeah, but we can't watch it till the end.
That's
yeah.
fine.
Well,
Yeah.
It's fine.
anyway, I'm waiting for someone in the chat to be like, "Can you guys get on to Delphi?" No, I'm kidding.
I know, right? No, we're at the 20-minute mark. Every now and again we can pull these. There's going to be some people go, I just can't. Can you just get on? No. Okay.
I've
Go
not
right
even
here
heard
and
Alexa
learn.
speak yet.
Okay, well, let me play this. The Daniel Cavalcante. And you guys, if you guys don't know who Daniel Cavalcante is, he's a prisoner that escaped back in August 31st for 2 weeks. Those were great lives. I missed it. Sometimes when it comes to an end, you're like, just let him go because I got more videos and shit to make. Okay. But no, that took about 2 weeks. So anyways, he has been in court in a sense, but only through webcam since the day that he was caught. So this is his first time actually appearing in Chester County the court today. And so he faced about another 20 charges on top of his already murder charge. Because the backstory to Danelo Cavalcante is that he took the life of a girl back in Brazil. And then he basically, hopped the country, ended up in the USA, said he was going to try to come to Canada, get the heck out of here, but whatever. And then he ended up murdering his girlfriend thanks, Charmaine, murdering his girlfriend in the United States. And then, of course, he was put into Pennsylvania prison there. And then there was a guy that escaped 4 months prior to him, but that only lasted 5 minutes. And the same way that the first guy that tried to escape got out is the exact way that Daniel Cavalcante escaped, but actually got out. And it lasted till, what's funny about this? Actually, Adam, now that I say this, Daniel Cavalcante, okay, this is shock and horror. Daniel Cavalcante, his birthday is July 3rd, 1989. Whose birthday is July 3rd, Adam?
Yours.
Right. And so is he or is he not a Cancer? Okay. Cancers don't kill. I don't know. I feel like they got it wrong because cancers just don't kill.
According to the FBI, they do.
No. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, he was caught on your birthday, July 13th.
It was written in the stars, Sonny.
It was written in the stars. Absolutely. So,
and you know what? I have to say, I think a Cancer would probably be able to elude authorities
you're
for
right.
the amount of time that he did.
He is probably hiding in his canceristic cell. Yeah, cell and shell. Okay, so if anyone hadn't followed the story, Your Loss, it was a great one. That's where JLR went from 30K subs to frickin' 100K subs, just literally from the Cavalcante case, as a matter of fact. And Nick the Hat was covering it as well, but they were kind of at different points, and then they kind of got together. Anyways, that was a great lives. I like ones like that. It's like, where is he? Oh, he's over here. He's over there. Oh, no, pop goes the weasel. And then he was living off of watermelon patches and that. And then it was almost ridiculous, to be honest with you. He steals a dairy van, from Bailey Farms there, It was just like, and the police are still thinking he's in that one area that's surrounded, but he couldn't have got out of there. Yeah, he did. But anyway, so I'm just going to play that clip first for those people, because again, this was his first day actually physically in court. Now this is
being in prison on a life sentence for the murder of his ex-girlfriend. So, Chris, where does the case stand right now?
I'll show you something in a second.
Well, first of all, Danelo Cavalcante chose to appear in court in person rather than by video conference. That is why this normally routine preliminary hearing came under very heavy security by state and local law enforcement. The state attorney general's office, who was prosecuting this case, basically laid out the entire case against Danelo Cavalcante as he was ordered to stand trial. With his curly long...
Take note of that. Okay, remember the same things that are on Richard Allen with that lockbox between his wrists. Remember how Richard Allen's hands look? Same thing exactly that Danelo Calvacante has on his wrist. I just wanted to point that out because it was acting like this was beyond, for that part of it. But this is the same one. I gotta hit play again. Where's my play? Oh,
hair covering his face, wearing an orange jumpsuit, shackles, and work boots. Convicted murderer Danelo Cavalcante arrives to district court in Kennett Square under heavy security from the Department of Corrections Special Operations. Danelo, you going to try to escape again? Will you try to escape again? No reaction as Cavalcante arrived to his preliminary hearing on charges of escape, theft, and burglary, stemming from the 2-week manhunt after his escape from the Chester County Prison. The escape came just days after he was convicted of murdering his ex-girlfriend, Deborah Brandow, in front of her children. In a 2-hour, 24-minute preliminary hearing, prosecutors called 11 witnesses laying out the case against Cavalcante, including Chester County prison guards, an acquaintance of Cavalcante, and homeowners who encountered him. One man testified Cavalcante broke into his home, stole a backpack, shirt, knife, razor, and his daughter's sleeping bag. Another homeowner testifying Cavalcante entered his garage and stole a .22 rifle. He even yelled, "Don't do it, don't do it," before the homeowner fired 4 shots from his pistol in Cavalcante's direction. Prosecutors spent the hearing building a timeline of his alleged crimes.
And a helicopter goes by and we're like, wait a minute. But, I think we have a little bit of PTSD from that.
Lindsay Yates, who lives nearby, brought her 2 children to the hearing, a case they lived through for 2 weeks.
Well, they were interested in law, and I thought, this would be a high-profile case to really learn something from and get interested in. And plus, just to kind of put closure to the whole scenario.
Anything to say, Danelo? Cavalcante, a Brazilian national, used a translator in the courtroom. His defense team offered no witnesses or evidence. The judge immediately held Cavalcante for trial. He was brought back to prison as he awaits a court date. And despite the fact that Cavalcante will spend the rest of his life in prison for murder, the prosecutors say they wanted to send a message. They wanted to hold Danelo Cavalcante accountable for those other crimes. Dawn, he is scheduled in another hearing for his formal arraignment next week.
All right, Chris O'Connor.
That is Danelo Calvacante. I think most of you guys, he said there might be some people in here that don't know that. In that one owner's house, if you guys remember, the first one where he took the backpack and stuff like that, remember it was like the owner turned on a light or whatever, or flicked his light, and then somebody from downstairs, meaning Danelo, flicked the lights basically on to let him know that he was there. Hey, Missy, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm so sorry. I just, one of my kids had a little bit of a meltdown, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Stay with him. I'm so sorry. Apologize. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. And we decided that we're going to do Rex Heuermann on
Monday
night. Alexa wanted to complete a video for it. So I was just like, no problem. We'll just cover these other cases tonight and Delphi. So that will be for Monday. I watched that documentary a couple times. It took me about 3 times to watch it because each time I did watch it, Alexa, it was at night. So I kept falling asleep to it. And then I'd wake up, listen to a little bit more, then I'd fall asleep to it the next time I listened to it.
Oh, the one for the, which one? The one for the, oh, I know which one. The one with the witness? The witness?
The one that you sent me.
Yeah, Yeah. I think I sent you 2. But it's the one with the witness and the lawyer. You're talking about Rex, right?
Yeah, well, I'm just remembering because that whole thing, now that you're saying that, I'm not remembering that part because all I remember was the guy that was from the, like the producer guy or the guy that was covering it right from the get-go.
Oh, okay. I didn't send you the one with the witness?
No, I don't think so.
With that she claims that she went to a swinger party and
No,
okay.
That's what I was wondering about that because this one was more like from the start kind of to the finish about that News Station 7 and when they first heard about it and talking about
that's the one. Yeah, I know what you mean. Hold on.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I sent it to you. Maybe I sent it to somebody else.
Yeah, I couldn't follow. Thank you, Gail Hurd.
Alexa, I think you sent it to Brandon Woodhouse.
Right.
Accidentally, right? So anyways, so for anyone to, like I said, following the Danelo Calvacante case, that was just simply to give those people that followed it, like this channel did, an update on him since obviously I didn't even know it was today. I hit YouTube and then I seen Nick the Hat was live and then I was like, oh, okay. Almost like you know how I mean that was like months ago, so it was like I don't really keep up with those type of court dates. Double echo. Thank you, Gail Hurd. I like that song. And what was I going to say? I don't know. Anyways, that was just to give you a quick update on that case. Did anyone else? Oh, thanks, Gail. That's nice. I was just going to say, now we're going to hear, she just wants to hear Rick Astley. That's what you want to do. Who got that? Let's see. Let me, the thing's trying to, Anthony France, you got that membership from Gail Hurd. So look at Anthony's right there, right underneath you, Gail. That's how you do it, eh? Someone that gifts, all of a sudden the person underneath them got the membership. So Frank, and oh, by the way, we did do our poll so far. So basically what happened today was this. Chris Todd had emailed me asking for Frank Meister's like phone number or email. I'm like, I don't know. I said I talked to him through Messenger. And then he's like, and then he sends back another message saying, here's basically my number. He passed it on to Frank Meister, passed it on to Frank Meister. And I said, but if he doesn't answer you back, he doesn't answer you back. And that kind of it. There we go. Some Rick Astley there for you. Wake you up. Okay. And so anyway, so then Chris Todd said, next time you have a panel on, now we've played this game before, but next time you have a panel on, something like invite me, he said, or something like that. So me and Adam, I was talking to Adam about it. The thing is, I have no I told Chris Todd, you rub me. Oh, Charmaine. Oh, she just wants to listen to Rick Astley too. Okay, hold on. We've got multi things going on here now. So let's see who got that. True Crime Talk with Frank Meister. Oh, there you go, Frank. Sees Through. Thanks for the donation the other night there, Sees Through, or was that today? I'm having a problem remembering now. That was yesterday. That's right, because the husband left the room. Ivy Rose was gifted a membership. Cheryl was gifted a membership. And Resident R2R. All right, you people can all suck it up and listen to those songs when they go off. It gives me a boost. I like songs, and they give you that boost. So thank you, Charmaine. You guys thank Charmaine for giving you guys that. So, Ivy, how do you feel? Feel special somehow? Or do you already have a membership, Ivy? Ivy, tell me.
I guess, right?
Ivy was gifted a membership somewhere else.
Something came up, so I've been stepped away for like 15 minutes.
Oh. Right.
It was unexpected. What'd you ask about memberships, though?
Wait,
you got gifted a membership on a different channel like yesterday or something, didn't you?
I get gifted memberships all the time, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
I never do.
You're that special, Ivy?
I've been a member of Frank's Art of Deductions for like 3 months.
Oh, and then you got one?
3 months in a row.
Thanks, Alexa.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just read it whenever I send you two.
And lots of other. I got one on Greeno's channel once.
I got one on Gray Hugh's channel once, and that was.
Did you?
I had to talk, and he complained like it was my fault. Like I can turn. I mean, you can turn it off, but you have to turn it off for all. You can't just do one. And he's such an asshole. Never mind. We won't get into that.
Tits
up. Show off.
Baby, do you need anything?
Oh my gosh, 20. Oh, I thought that said 20 membership.
No, you locked the door.
Oh, did I? Forgot. Sorry.
No, you locked the door. He sounds so proper.
He sounds so. What was I just gonna say? I don't know. Adam said something. I was gonna say something to that. Yeah, to the last one.
That was for Charmaine. I wanted her to be able to hear it again.
Can't hear shit when this music's playing.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was going to say now. I don't know. You guys are talking about membership things, and then there was something.
I tried to give it back, CJK. He wouldn't take it. He called me an idiot and I left.
I don't see. I'm totally lost now. I don't even know.
CJK, tits up is something. Tits up is something I always like to say when I'm like, it's kind of like, man up or suck it up, buttercup. It's like tits up.
Yeah, tits up.
And I took it like, I felt like it was a very sweet thing when he said it to me the other day.
It is.
Yeah.
So,
it's meant to be.
Yeah. I was like,
don't get comments like that. So tits up was like, oh, he's so sweet.
So I don't think you have to turn it on anymore, actually. I if I'm not mistaken, because I remember I was in a couple of chats and I was like, if someone was giving out memberships, or it just reminded me, I was like, oh, don't I have to click on something? But I actually don't think you have to click on it anymore.
You used to have to allow gifts or something, but you can't buy memberships. Like you can't give memberships from your phone app or an app. You have to do it from a browser, in my experience.
Yeah, the browser.
No, I do it on my phone all the time.
Oh, right. Alexa said that too, right? Didn't she?
Or maybe, are you an Android user?
Yeah.
She is.
It's iPhone. But there's a setting that it's like an all or nothing. You either can accept gifts from everybody or nobody, but it's in your settings somewhere.
Where?
I'll see if I can find it.
Ivy would know if anyone would.
Yes, I would. I will take the free memberships. I don't give a shit. Who knows? I'm lurking around.
Do you know how many times I've been in a chat and someone will gift memberships, usually Charmaine, and I'm like, oh, I leave the chat immediately because I don't want to get gifted a membership.
That's why I do it. I'm trying to find everybody.
Unless they've changed it, you only have to be there like in the past 2 months or a month or something like that. I've been gifted memberships when I wasn't in the chat and hadn't been in the chat for like a week or two.
Okay, good. I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
There. It's rude. I don't like it.
Sometimes I get gifted. I don't even know. Sometimes one just pops up in my email saying you were gifted a membership, and I'm like, oh, I wasn't even in there. But meaning I was in there at some point. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I don't get them probably like you do, Ivy Rose. You seem like you're special. You get them every other day. Maybe that's because Ivy Rose is in so many, whereas me, it's like few and far between when I go into them.
Mark, I don't think you can do it from the YouTube app on an iPhone. You might be able to do it from a browser. I've never checked.
Yeah, I can't do it from my iPhone
for
app.
iPhone users, though.
Join a channel. I've been trying to join Teresa's channel forever, but I only ever catch her at work on my phone, and I can't join.
Oh, I'm coming out. I was in there for about 10 minutes today.
You guys want to hear something? I think I've paid for a membership before over all the years to 3 separate channels, right? Yeah. I have currently 19 inactive memberships, which means I was gifted all of those plus 3 that are active. So that means I gifted a membership to, 19 or 20 different channels since they started it.
Please screenshot the channels and send them to us.
Because sometimes I go to a channel and it says, do you want to renew your membership? And I was like, well, I was never a member here in the first place. Oh, right. It was the gifted thing. Yeah. And Rick Astley, I know it's like, I feel like Rick Astley, you only come out when you start hearing the song and then you're like, oh, that's for me. That's for me. Pretty much. Gail's on a gifting night. Gail, did you get paid today?
Oh.
Let's see who got this one.
Ivy will probably get it. Okay.
I've already got one.
Yeah.
Well,
somebody took mine away. I already had one, and then I got blocked, and it took it away.
Ooh, Sunny.
What?
You blocked her, and it took away her gifted membership.
Oh, when you accidentally blocked Ivy, it took away her membership.
Oh, well, she has it now. Well, okay. Now that was a mistake, people, by yesterday. So there's this doofus that came into the live yesterday that just said, "I'm reporting your channel," whatever the name was. And
someone did that. Someone did that to Teresa tonight. I'm a mod in her channel, and I'm probably not a very good mod because I'm like, what? It's I'm like most things. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna decide whether or not that should be said or not. That's not. But then someone said, I'm leaving. I reported your channel. So I was like, block. Or I said delete.
Well, with me, like I said, I went to go block the person yesterday, and then all of a sudden it jumped, and the next thing you know, it said Ivy's been banned. I'm like, oh,
I've accidentally like deleted and blocked people so many times because of that.
Like
because of it jumping on you. That's
it jumps. Like, you'll go to push it, and all of a sudden the thing pops up, and you hit the one like underneath it or the next one.
Let me go look at Charmaine's name.
One wild day. When I start using it on this channel,
block.
Oh, you're gonna block me? Don't do me any favors. I hate it here.
Anyways, thank you guys for all your gifting, and again, it's nice when it pays it forward to other people. Again, it takes away slow mode, and it allows you to use any of the emojis. And if you want to go watch the memberships that we've done in the past, feel free to go on our Alcatraz trips, stuff like that.
As long as you're not watching a Tom Webster live right now.
Yeah, like what the heck?
Is he on right now?
Members only.
Oh, members only.
I should be at, but this is my family. So.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Tom's family too.
He messaged me today for tech. He goes, normally my family comes to me for tech help, but Sonny, I'm coming to you for some tech help, right? And I'm said, well, to be honest with you, because I'm looking at his question that he asked me, and I'm like,
if you tell everyone he's not gonna ask you another one.
Like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, okay, he's talking about this, but he's talking about microphones. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I just use my same microphone, whatever. And then later he sends me a message going, so apparently on YouTube you can hit present and share a video file. And I'm like, was that what you were asking me? Because I knew I could do that. That's how I share my videos. But I didn't know what he was really asking me. It's hard when you're just seeing it through a message and it's like technical stuff. And I'm just like, StreamYard has a chat. You can literally just talk to them.
Oh, and StreamYard has an app now.
Oh,
really?
I've not used it on because most people know I stream from my iPad most of the times, and I'm not using it right now. But StreamYard has an app now.
Thank you, Meadow Mama Michelle. We should really all be drinking to this for all of us drinkers. It's Friday. We should be drinking for all these super chats.
I feel like generosity begets generosity.
Mm-hmm.
So the more people give, the more people give. And that's exactly why I do it.
You're great at it, Charmaine.
Yeah,
You're always
and absolutely Charmaine too, right? And
I feel like over on Bob's channel, I started an entire movement because, my God, he gets hundreds of memberships gifted a week, not by me anymore.
Heck, I went in there for 10 minutes and there was like memberships. People are just gifting 5 memberships. And I know that YouTube has been gracious enough to gift all channels 10 memberships a month to give out, usually like in blocks of 5, whatever. So that's really nice of that as well. It's the second, but I'm not using mine up today because you guys are doing a great job here of doing that. But I really should. I think I'm going to put that on my list because water's kind of boring tonight. My ice cream cone cup. But anyways, Metal Mama Michelle, thank you so much and nice to see you. Again, she had joined a live around Christmas time there, and that was really nice. Does anyone else hate the taste of diet sodas?
No.
This chat thing is all over today. With the people are going to be going, what? They're talking about food. Next thing you know, they're talking about memberships. Next thing you know, they're talking about sodas. No, I have to have diet soda. I don't hate it anymore. I used to, but I don't. Being diabetic, I don't even think about it anymore, to be honest. And I really shouldn't be drinking that either.
I don't drink soda.
Why do you drink soda? Is it because you want, why don't you drink water? You don't like water?
No, I like water, but I like all of it.
Mm-hmm. Soda is like one of the worst things you can do for yourself is drink a soda.
I don't like anything carbonated. I never have it. Like burns my mouth.
Oh.
See, now I like carbonated water. I drink bubbly, like all day long usually. And champagne sometimes.
That's probably why I never really drank in high school or like early college, because everybody always had like Smirnoffs and stuff like that are carbonated. I used to try to shake them with my hand on top to get the bubbles to pop and pop. Never worked.
Mark, the email's right up there. Right there on top. crowningshame@gmail.com.
I used to be a big Diet Coke drinker. Like I drank it too much, and I stopped about 4 years ago. And I don't miss it at all. It's funny because I'm like, I never thought I would stop drinking soda, and now I'm like, oh, the idea of it disgusts me.
And Mark, just to be clear, I think I'm not sure if you are, but we're specifically talking about on iPhones versus. So Alexa has Samsung, and and Adam and Charmaine have iPhones. So, I just want to make sure you're clear on that when you're saying that I want to show you that on another channel the membership option is available.
I just don't even know what to say when people like say stuff like that. Like, thank you, sorry, girlfriend. He's an asshole. I don't know. I'm like, I get it. Thank
My
you.
girlfriend is mad because I said you have the sexiest voice on YouTube. She hit me in the arm. Oh yeah, that's a love tap right there. You got to know that right down.
My face is like so bright red right now. It's
Charmaine, just tell his girlfriend that you agree with her.
I smart man. I can't do that. I cannot do that. He's an asshole. What can I say? He should never be telling you these things. Stop it, Dawn. Behave yourself.
It's not so funny. I'll still, bringing it back to myself now, Charmaine. I remember in Greeno's channel, this is back in the old days. It's like he started playing a video clip of mine. Now, I don't know, you guys. I mean, we're going to have to take a poll, Charmaine. Who has the sexiest voice amongst, say, you, Alexa, Ivy, myself, and Adam?
Oh, Alexa with her accent. It's not even a competition. That's not fair.
That annoys a few people. No.
Yeah.
No.
But it's so fun. Yeah. Like I would never, just like you, Charmaine, I would never sit there and go, ooh, I have a soothing
I have
voice.
such a sexy voice.
I don't think I've ever been accused of having a sexy voice.
Oh, I have been.
You have a very intelligent, assertive voice,
Yes.
and everybody believes what you say because you sound.
Yeah.
No, everybody believes what I say because I'm right.
Exactly, that too. But they only know that because they listen because your voice is very.
I've never heard that either. I feel like nobody's ever told me anything about my voice.
No, really? That's because you're right. Because they're thinking about your brains instead of your voice.
Not just that. I think the thing is here, Ivy, is you're just an icon. So your whole persona is your voice. Yeah. So there is no Ivy's so beautiful and she has a nice voice. No,
so
Ivy,
beautiful.
Do you want to know a real life thing? Do you want to know a real life thing that someone asked me one time about Ivy? I don't think I ever told Ivy this.
What?
Her Facebook picture, because Ivy doesn't usually go on camera. Someone asked me once if Ivy's picture was a catfish photo.
A catfish
photo, because she was so good looking.
I would make, if I was going to catfish, I'd use a better picture. I'd find a better looking picture.
So of course I responded, yeah, it's absolutely a catfish.
Please tell people that. I would rather them think that.
But no, I was like, that's a pretty good compliment if someone thinks you're a catfish.
Yes.
Anywho, so what's going on with this here? Yay, let's get away from the sexy voice talk.
No, are you kidding, Charmaine? I was always told I had a 1-800 number. I enjoyed it. I don't think I do, but I was told that so many times in my life.
A 1-800 number? Are you doing customer service?
The 1-900. Sorry, 1-900. My bad. 1-900.
Is still a thing?
Hey? Probably. Yeah. There's probably Miss Cleo out there still too. Anyways. Okay, you guys. Let's get into this next video. Now I'm gonna have to put an overlay over top because typically with Fox, even though I did play Fox 29, typically there's most Foxes will give you a copyright claim, not a strike. Then you're gonna have to remove the video. So I'm just simply gonna do that because I know that this one will simply give me a copyright claim and then I'll have to take it out of the video. So I'm just going to stick a freaking thing over top of it.
Let me tell you something real quick because I've been not saying it when we were on, but then I forget to tell you later.
Okay.
I watch a bunch of like reaction type channels.
Yes.
And one thing that I've seen people do like
Stop.
a bunch of times, I assume it works because they do it on for like shows that their channel who has a show like copyrights a lot, they'll like turn it like 45 degrees so it's like slanted. And supposedly it makes it where the algorithm or whatever doesn't pick it up.
Oh, I've never heard of that. I've seen people like, meaning in the React ones, you know, people are always stop and starting, and that's usually what prevents it as well. But I get very irritated when I'm watching those type of ones where they stop, start, and it's like, okay, just freaking play out part of the clip, okay? Every freaking 5 seconds they're stopping it, and I'm just like getting so annoyed.
You should test it out and turn it one time and see what happens.
Yeah, I've never turned it, I suppose. I don't even know how I would turn it because this is from an actual, like, this is from the actual internet. Like, it's not like it's a video I created. So I'm not sure how they do that, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, but so yeah, it's just, you know, that's why everyone uses News Nation and Court TV, because you don't have to worry about copyright claims or copyright claims. Yeah, not strikes, but claims. But Fox is typical. So I don't know what the little Cadbury secret is, because I see a lot of channels playing the stuff, including like ICML and stuff, and I'm like, so how are you getting away with it?
Yeah, it's annoying.
You know? Yeah, but so we'll play this out. So this, of course, is the KansasCity3. And if you guys aren't following this story, well, again, it's a huge story going on about 3 men that died in the backyard. But anyways, let's play it out first, and then we'll talk about this.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So, oh no, I'm going to put the layover on. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll hit play to this. And just know, in this one here, hold on, let me go to it. So kind of like this one guy that we listened to yesterday, this old guy to the, hold on, come on, buddy, show your face. This guy, that's not a very good picture of him now, is it? Okay, oh, there's a better picture. So this guy here was talking yesterday, and it was a clip that I played, did the same thing, an overlay. So just picture him basically mostly talking, and it's these people that he's talking with, okay? So that's just to give you an idea as I put the overlay on here. So I'm just going to put the overlay, and then I'm just going to hit play. Okay, guys? Okay.
Cocaine, fentanyl, reportedly detected in the toxicology results of those 3 Kansas City Chiefs fans found frozen to death last month, the beginning of January, after that watch party.
So this is what we know. These are only preliminary results, but sources with direct knowledge of the case tell TMZ that other substances may surface once the official results come out. We know that the family members of those fans who died have a copy of the report, but they have not confirmed what it says.
All right, this comes after we learned that Jordan Willis, the host of the party, checked himself into rehab. He is not currently facing any charges, and police insist the deaths are not being investigated as homicides. But should they be? Let's bring in Dr. Michael Bodden. He's right here, pathologist, Fox News contributor. Dr. Bodden, this revelation, we thought about drugs,
right.
Reasonable people thought it was drugs. What does this tell you? Cocaine and fentanyl.
As Lauren said, we have to wait for the official report to come out, but it appears at this time that there was fentanyl and other drugs present. Fentanyl is used by doctors because it's a powerful painkiller, and one of the side effects is making a person sleepy. And what happened here, I think, could have been that the 4 of them used the drugs together. The one fellow who comes in and sleeps on the couch indoors sleeps it off.
2 days.
For a while, more than 24 hours, right? Whereas the other 3 get sleepy and pass out outside. And because of the weather and because of the snow, their body temperature drops very quickly from 98 degrees to 80 degrees, at which point, less than an hour, the heart can't beat anymore accurately, so they die of a cardiac arrest due to hyperthermia. It is very unusual for 3 people using or 4 people using drugs together to die simultaneously from fentanyl. The effects on people varies a great deal. So it's less likely to be overdoses and more likely to be hypothermia caused by passing out from the fentanyl.
What does that tell you then? If all four of them experienced, I mean, he fell asleep on the sofa. Thankfully, he wasn't outside at the time. The other three were. What does that tell you about the power, how powerful these drugs are?
We don't know what all the drugs are. Fentanyl is the most powerful of these drugs mentioned. And it varies a great deal. There was something in the paper about somebody having a 30. The fentanyl is measured in micrograms. Very small amount, causes a lot of. At 30, some people will die at 30, and other people can go up to 100 or 200 and not die. See, it varies on the individuals. So it'd be extremely unusual for a true overdose to kill them, but they would all get sleepy. And if they pass out in the snow, they die. One of the factors is it's a painless death. They don't have any pain when they pass out, or they don't have any pain from the cold.
So, doctor, we know we're in the middle of a drug crisis, and if the report is true that they were mixing the cocaine with fentanyl, there was a report and there was a bulletin done by the DA, and they unclassified this. And the concern was people were using cocaine and fentanyl based together because they were using the fentanyl to substitute for the heroin. Why would people think that fentanyl is heroin? What type of effect? Because they sent this to all the medical examiners because people were dropping like flies. What makes them the same?
Well, fentanyl and fentanyl both are laboratory-made chemicals, narcotics, and they both have similar effects, but fentanyl is much stronger than heroin, and heroin is much stronger than morphine, which is the original one. But when they're mixed with cocaine, sometimes addicts will mix a downer. Fentanyl is a downer, makes you go to sleep. Cocaine is an upper, and some drug users think if you mix them together, it makes it safer, and that's not true. They'll mix it together, makes it worse, and most fentanyl deaths combine other drugs with them.
Right. I'm happy to say I'm not an experienced drug user, so this may sound naive. Could it be that someone gets cocaine and people put fentanyl in it, they don't know it?
Oh, absolutely. That's part of the problem. Fentanyl is very cheap. It's very cheap for the drug lords and all, so that they can mix fentanyl with marijuana. They mix fentanyl with cocaine. And that's why, and it's much more powerful than the other drugs. So the four of them may not even known what they were getting. They might have thought they were getting cocaine, and instead it's fentanyl. And that's why, as Lauren said, we have to wait for the official toxicology
But you do have a witness. A guy that lived through it, right?
It sounds like the guy who was asleep on the sofa probably told police, because they said this is 100% not a homicide. People were accusing him, and he said, I didn't do anything. I bet he told police, this is the honest truth. This is what we were doing.
Well,
and maybe gave them the drug dealer's name or number, and then police knew what they were dealing with.
Absolutely. That one thing, the police come there and they got things from the scene. So they may have the packets or whatever the drugs were contained in, and they would have known. And that's why they said right away that it's not a murder. And they right away gave the impression it was a drug overdose. And the amounts of the drug are going to be very important into being certain about how the effects were. The initial report says trace of cocaine and fentanyl. Fentanyl is much more likely to cause death than cocaine.
I thought coke had you race. Fentanyl overcomes what coke does?
They do different things, but they don't overcome. They just add to each other. One makes you higher, one makes you lower, but they don't cancel each other out, which some of the drug users think.
You can't even dabble anymore. You can't try it. You can't. It's not worth it. One mistake.
A very little bit of cocaine, of fentanyl can cause death, but a very lot may not. They find fentanyl users driving erratically have 100 micrograms.
Don't do drugs. Dr. Bodden, thanks so much.
Sad they have
Thank
children.
We'll be waiting when we get the big test, we'll have Dr. Bodden back.
Right.
Thanks, Doc.
So I can take that off. 1 second, guys. Okay, so take that off and come back over here and put the banner thing back on as well. On there. Okay. Now, my problem, well, there's a couple problems, but my problem is that when that doctor guy was talking, he had said a couple times now, within like an hour. My problem is 3 people died at the same virtual time is what it looks like, right? Because obviously he's saying within an hour. Do you honestly think that the guy without a jacket and that they're going to stay outside for an hour and sit there and go, you know what? Just going to, sit here for an hour in the freezing cold, no
I still
jacket.
think that's up in the air.
Pardon?
I still think that's up in the air. Like, I still think it's possible that they didn't all die around the same time.
Well,
and if they were just chilling outside, like the guy was found in a lawn chair,
well,
but if they were high.
One second. One at a time there. So Ivy, finish your thought and then Charmaine.
I forgot. Charmaine, you say what you said because I responded to you, but now I can't remember.
I just said if they were just, hanging out outside, smoking cigarettes or whatever and visiting, and the one guy was found in the lawn chair, they probably
were using
fell
cocaine
asleep.
and fentanyl based
Sorry.
because they were using the fentanyl.
Okay, sorry that. Sorry, Charmaine. My bad. The thing went off as I was trying to listen to you.
Squirrel. I don't know. They probably fell asleep outside. That's my whole point. And I think that the only reason that the fourth survived is because he was indoors. Otherwise, maybe the other three would have just slept for 2 days too.
Okay, and because there's a few things here I want to talk about. Anybody else about that want to say anything about this case?
I have a new theory. And I put it in the chat last night, but it's kind of making sense to me. Like, let's say that these people are all like fentanyl virgins, basically. Never used it, or if they had, they didn't have like a tolerance or anything to it. They go and they want to party. They get some cocaine. They don't know that the cocaine is laced, and they snort the cocaine because that's what a lot of people do with it. And because they snorted it, the fentanyl. So, like, from what I've read, when you snort fentanyl, it hits you super fast, but it doesn't stay in your system. So it hits you hard and fast, but then goes away quicker. So that's why, like, they all snort it, and it hits them fast and harder than it would if you took it another way. And that's what killed them. And that's why it was all around the same time while they were outside.
So you think that they did it outside?
I don't know. That's just my new theory.
Oh, okay.
I do think that they're using drugs outside, whether they took it inside or outside. I think that's why they died.
I mean, some people die just by touching. They OD just by. You have seen. How many times have we seen videos that people just touch the fentanyl and they just drop? That's how powerful it is. So it's they say there's almost 80% stronger than morphine. So you have to be very careful. But I mean, I personally think these men probably occasionally did cocaine, because I don't think this was their first time that they did cocaine. I think they, unfortunately, and this is something that is always advertised, fentanyl, cocaine lately has been laced. It's been laced with fentanyl. So what I don't understand is when you're in your 30s, and especially when you have kids, first of all, you shouldn't be doing drugs. But whatever, you want to do drugs, always have an Narcan. I am pretty sure they were probably sick. They probably took it. I think they started feeling hot, because usually that's what happens when you start ODing. They probably start feeling hot, and that's why they go outside. There's 3 people to die. I mean, the first one that fell, how come the other one didn't help? There were 3. One falls, then you have 2 people. So I am the type of person that I always say, always. And I myself, I always carry a Narcan. I mean, obviously, I use pain medication, so I always have used it. I have used fentanyl. I don't like using fentanyl, but I have used it in the past. And it's one of those drugs that you always have to respect and always follow the directions. But even taking a shower, I had a patch after my chemo. And even like having with the patch, like if I couldn't shower, like really hot, because if you elevate the body temperature, you can OD, because the patch releases faster. So it's something that you have to be very careful when you take. So I always say to people, always carry, if you're gonna do drugs, pretty and they get free, always carry Narcan. I always have Narcan.
The Narcan's so easy to get. Like, compared to 5 or 10 years ago, there's no excuse really. I'm gonna send you.
You can even go to the police station or the fire department and ask
Yeah.
them, even at the pharmacy, and say, hey, can I have an Narcan? I don't even know why I pay for it, but you can ask for it. So you're gonna do drugs, stop at the pharmacy, get your Narcan. If you start feeling sick, put it in your nose, and that's it. The best thing is don't do drugs, but if you're gonna do them, at least be safe.
Well, there's a couple things here. So, kind of what that lady said originally, or towards the end, where she's like, because this is what I was thinking. Okay, so they said no foul play right away. A lot of experts were not happy with that because the toxicology report hadn't come back, but they were sure to say no foul play right away. So I was thinking exactly what that lady said, which was, when they got to the house and they, kind of like arrested him and then let him go, or detained him and then let him go, in a sense that he probably was like, look, we were all doing drugs, this is what we were doing. And then they felt that there was no foul play because they were willing participants in all, it happening. And basically the three of them in the backyard ended up dying, because of all the different conditions, that would lead up to that. But then they were called into the prosecutor's office because they handed it over to the Plate County, which is where it belonged, or, was where this happened. And from the interviews that the family members have done, it's almost like that the impression that they seem to be saying was that they had gone to the prosecutors and that they were happy with how the investigation, in a sense, was going, as if to almost say that, yes, there's an investigation, because for all what we don't know still is Missouri has a thing. If you bought the drugs, the person, regardless, you have to be accountable. Like, they're dead because of their actions. Simple as that. That's why, they're dead, because obviously you just, say no to drugs, right? But if it turns out that they were purchased or that he concocted them upstairs, he could be facing charges. So again, because they were called into the prosecutor's office, the family, they seemed to walk out satisfied with what they were being told, because, as you know, the family, like, basically they think that Jordan
Sunny,
Willis.
it's 11:11. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't blame. I'm sorry, but that's
well,
wrong.
but that's not the law, though, right? That's the difference. Is
Well, we're
that
gonna see how they interpret it, because at 38, it's your choice whether you want to snort and put coke up your nose.
That's why
Even
I've
if
always had
they
mixed feelings.
didn't have a gun and somebody
Does-
said,
it does-
"Hey, you don't smoke this."
So what would the difference? I know that you're saying that to 38, but if the law is stating that if you contributed to the deaths, that's the law. That's not.
Yeah, contributing, let's say, by putting you in danger maybe, like, if I'm driving recklessly, like, and I am, or I get drunk and that I'm drunk, I understand. But in this type of situation, I personally,
I mean,
I don't think so.
I think maybe the difference is because those laws they're made for dealers, is what they're made for. So that's why it's like buying, or if you drop it off somewhere, it's not made for a situation like this. So they could just not charge him because it's not that type of situation, I guess.
What about Caleb? What about what Caleb McGreeney said? So we still don't know, because Caleb McGreeney said that he was a dealer, that Jordan Willis was a dealer, that when somebody had an issue, they knew to go to Jordan Willis.
In high school, or?
Well, he said in high school, he said he was talking about high school, but this is what he was known for because he is a chemist. So it's
I doubt he's making fentanyl up in his house.
Pardon?
I don't think he's making fentanyl in his house, though.
Ooh, I don't know.
Well, if he was, law enforcement knows.
Yeah,
that's true. He definitely was. If he was making cocaine, I forget how you make cocaine with, like, the coca plant, the leaves, and
right.
I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, but if he was mixing chemicals, law enforcement clearly knows, because there have been many stories where someone just being in the proximity of fentanyl has caused them to have an overdose. So I mean, just being in the presence of it sometimes can have an adverse reaction. So if this guy has a lab in his house and he's mixing stuff or doing whatever, and we don't know
How do you
that
know he has a lab in his house?
Pardon?
How do you know he has? Sorry, Aspen. How do you know he has a lab in his house?
I don't know that. I've heard that. I don't know that though.
I don't know.
That would be different if he purposely put the fentanyl, and he did the fentanyl, and he didn't disclose. Obviously, there's no way of knowing.
Right. And I don't personally think he did.
Then I understand.
I don't
But-
actually think that he is the one that made the
I don't think so.
Let me put it this way: I'm not going to be shocked. He's a chemist. Okay, I mean,
you have against chemists.
because
Chemist slander.
because he's a chemist. I mean, anyone that heard the word chemist and then hears that Caleb saying, "Hey, look, he's known for asking someone how they feel and then coming back with a pill for them, and that he was a supplier." Like, I'm sure that there's more truth to that than not truth.
Well, I just want to know if it was current or just in high school that somebody is saying that, because he wasn't a chemist in high school.
No, but go back and listen to, I guess, where Caleb McGreeney. But let me just put it this way.
Sonny's correct. He said all of this.
Yeah, I
watched it. Bottom line is that
stand up for the chemist.
It's under investigation still from the Clay County. It might turn out that it just winds up being no charges get laid, and it was kind of like, you know what, they took it and whatever. But it also might not be for said reason, you know,
because even if it's not Jordan Willis, I mean, if they can track where the drugs came from,
right,
there could be potential charges for someone.
Correct.
And so, you know, I'm and I'm not even throwing. I'm not. That's why I'm not saying that I think Jordan Willis is the one that's responsible for this. But Jordan Willis is the one, you know, well, one or two living witnesses to what went on that night. So he may play a very pivotal part in directing law enforcement to where the substances came from, and they may be able to get to the bottom of how they were mixed, how the coke was mixed with fentanyl or whatever. So there may be charges either way.
Well, and I think the fact that he didn't go out and he was at home when the police came, that he hasn't. I think, you know, they probably have the coke, so it's not like he flushed it down the toilet or anything. So I think that.
And who knows? Again, you know.
I mean, I understand the mom. I heard the mom, and I get it. As a mom, you never want to accept that your kids do wrong. But I mean, I get really upset and I get livid when people go, "Oh my God, my kid OD." Because somebody gave them the drug. No, your child went and took $15 and paid for that pill and put it down their throat.
Right.
Nobody forced them. So it's the kid's fault.
I have mixed feelings. And I feel bad saying it kind of like that, but I do have mixed feelings about the laws like that. I know why they're there, but when you're an adult, like,
right, and you make a choice,
there's responsibility that comes with that. I don't know if you want to, if you're interested in it. I sent you a picture in the messenger thing of it's supposed to be a fatal dose of fentanyl compared to heroin for an average sized man. And the tiny amount of fentanyl is crazy.
No, and you're right. Ivy, you're right. And I don't do any drugs, but to me, the argument I see in that is that, you know, if you were to like lessen it down to, I think if most people were to say, oh, you know, do you know someone that smokes weed or does weed? Most people know someone.
Yeah.
And so if you were to then have your normal like pot user go buy pot, not knowing it had been mixed with fentanyl, and they OD and they pass away.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
And so, you know, I don't think that you can really then change I don't think you can change the line for then like cocaine, because it's still a recreational.
I guess. But what if it was like, what if somebody went and bought fentanyl, for example, knowing it was fentanyl? Like, I totally agree if it's laced and they don't know.
Right. When I'm going off the assumption that that's what's happened here.
Yeah, I think it was laced. I think they didn't know. I don't think
they knew it. I was just talking about in general.
I don't think they knew they were taking fentanyl. I think.
But also, bad chemist, because, you know, as a chemist, you know, you should have a kit and just test it. I mean, if you're gonna do drugs,
that's true too. That's why they should have those testing things.
Don't understand.
Well, I'll be curious how, whatever, like, I'll just be curious, because again, with all the inconsistencies of his lawyer speaking for him, saying that he doesn't know this or he did do this and he didn't do that. Oh, I misspoke, blah, 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 blah. Again, that in itself has made, you know, people go apeshit because of his own lawyer speaking, Jordan Willis's.
Sonny, don't you agree? I mean, because I agree with you 100%. And I think if Jordan Willis played any part in this, I think law enforcement at this point knows. And so if there are going to be charges brought against Jordan Willis, I think those are going to come. If he didn't play any part in it, charges may come against someone else.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm just waiting to see how it plays out. I see, like, meaning at the end of the day, I see that, you know, if we kind of just listen, regardless to what Caleb McGreeney and others have said about this guy, that he seemed to be this guy to go to for drugs, but whether it turns out that they got it from him or not, or that they just all took it and he got lucky and lived. Now, the thing is, too, is that to me, they would have had to have died at the same time or approximately, because I can't see. So two of them were on their back. And I remember Cordy saying, well, don't you think that they would fall forward instead of backwards? I'm not really sure of that answer, to be honest with you. So, because obviously David Harrington is, you know, let me take down this picture for a second and go to the
It
backyard.
could just have felt like, you know, you start feeling woozy, so they didn't just fall flat and they just, you know.
Maybe
Well,
they
that's what
said
I
that.
was thinking, but woozy. Just trying to
Right.
find the best picture for the.
But I do agree, Sonny, that I think they would have had to have passed away relatively around the same time, because no one, apparently, no, it doesn't seem like anyone sought help.
Mhm.
And
That's why I'm-
go ahead, Lexa.
No, finish. Sorry.
No, I was done.
No, I know that's what leads me to believe that probably my theory is that they probably snort the thing, you know, the coke inside. Obviously, I think they started not feeling well, and I think that's one of the reasons.
Oh, that's
Because
a
you know, when you start ODing, one of the first things is you start getting really hot.
Right.
Well, obviously.
that's a I heard you say that earlier, but for some reason it's just now like really sinking into my brain. That makes a ton of sense. And then I can almost picture all of them saying, oh my gosh, like, do you feel that? And then all going outside, and then it happens so fast.
That's, to me, what would kind of have had to have happened
Right.
for me to buy it. Like, so when this doctor's saying, like, oh, you know, it's gonna probably happen within an hour. Okay, ain't no three people sitting outside in that freezing cold for one freaking hour. Ain't happening.
What happened in Jordan over there?
Picture.
But remember, you showed that video last night. Was it last night, of those people passed out on the ground? Like, they
Yeah,
they didn't have to be coherent.
I just got 1 second.
Here's a question. Oh, I have two questions for you guys. One, like, this one isn't really a question, just more of like a what if.
How hard
What
is
if it comes back that Jordan didn't do the cocaine? And that's why, like, he did something else, and that's why he just went to sleep inside.
But,
And then they did it together, or whatever.
well, I was gonna say, like, let's get real again on this. I don't know anything about these type of drugs.
Right.
But it's hard for people, especially ones that have done drugs, to imagine that for literally 2 days he's claiming he fell asleep. And
No, I don't.
hey,
I think
why
that
are
was.
my pictures not freaking saving? What the?
I would almost bet money at this point that his behavior is because he is a avoidance type person, and he maybe even almost had like a little dissociation type thing, but I bet he realized it at some point and just totally ignored it. And because maybe it would go, obviously we know it's not going to go away, but ignored it because he didn't want to deal with it. And that's why he didn't do anything even when the girlfriend came, only when the police got there, because you can't ignore the police.
No, you can't ignore the police. Exactly.
You can try.
You can try. So there's the backyard. David Harrington was sitting in one of these, say, two chairs. The other two said that they were on their backs outside or whatever. And again, David Harrington was a smoker. I don't know about the other two. Ricky Johnson is one without his jacket on. Like I said, so when that doctor kept saying like an hour, dude, no, this would have had to happen rather quickly, because one person would have gotten up if one person would have, would have made movement to one person, one of their friends, if they saw a friend like hit the ground. Like, you can't tell me that you would just be sitting there going, oh, look at, oh, my friend's, these, on his back. We're just going to sit here in the chair still. Like, that's what I mean. It's like, that's the part that's odd to me. So that means that, to me, this would have had to happen rather quickly to all of them within the very same vicinity of time. That maybe they did take whatever and it instantly impacted them, and pretty much, you know, I don't know. It's just really hard with the bullshit story of not looking outside. Okay, I can understand the not looking outside part in the backyard. I can understand that. I barely look out my freaking ass windows. Okay, but I can, you know, only because one window's behind me. But 2 days, people messaging him, someone knocks in. It's his story, his whole thing between his lawyer and his story. Is absolutely very suspicious of everything to me. And that's why I'm like, okay, at some point this is going to make sense. Like the truth should come out here. But you can't, because for 3 people to die, and it doesn't seem like there was any sort of movement. It's like 2 of them fell backwards. 1 of them died in the chair. It's, you know, it seems like they went out the back door of there, had a smoke type of idea. You know, maybe freaking Jordan Willis was so freaking far off his own rocker. You know, did he sleep for 2 days, headphones, fan on, and all that? It's just, do you know what I mean? There's just a lot of bullshit to sit there and go, hey, this isn't making sense. And so there's like 10 things at least that are inconsistent. And most of that is because Jordan Willis lawyered up and his lawyer speaking for him. And he didn't go to the families and say anything, but Alex Weimer did. And Alex Weimer went to the celebration of life, you know, and this guy saying, you know, like, I feel sad and whatever because I didn't get to go there because everyone's accusing me and all that stuff and blah, 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 blah. And his lawyer saying like at least 5 inconsistencies that I know of about leaving or not leaving or hanging out, going escorted to the door, not escorted to the door, that, you know, just anyways, there's 5 different ones. And so with all of that being said, not looking at phone calls, not getting like Alex Weimer messaged Jordan Willis because both the mom and the fiance had been saying like, look, we haven't heard anything. So it just seems like a miraculous coincidence that all of this stuff was happening, and yet he was passed out for 2 days as well on top of all this. Cars in the front, jacket in the house. If there was phone and keys in the house, I don't know, because I've still not seen an article saying that for sure. It just means to me that there's still that mystery behind what exactly truly happened with those guys. And most of it's just because of Jordan Willis and his accounts that are not accounts. I don't know. And then getting called and saying no foul play, but yet they go meet up with the prosecutor. And then they all seem to walk out of there feeling satisfied in a sense with what the prosecution had said to them about the investigation, that they're taking on the investigation. So they're obviously still looking at stuff here, and it might just be deemed that it's all weirdly true.
Or whatever,
yeah. Anyways, so we'll leave that one at that, unless anyone else has anything to say before we get off this, and then move on to the Delphi. Good, you guys good?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Oh, did you say Delphi? I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm so tired.
Let's see here. So I gotta find. Is it there? Which one is it? The extracted? Is it the motion one? I'm trying to see. I'm looking at my documents. Oh, motion. No.
Continuance.
Yeah, it's not. I'm just looking at the. Okay, that was the affidavit. Just looking at the titles because I got them from Faith as well. Motion to transfer.
And some of the titles make no sense sometimes. Like I think it was at the one of them was like the title was like PDF 1.
Yeah, PDF extract or redacted 1. That's what I mean. I was like, wait, right? Okay.
And I saved it as that, and then I was like, oh, I already have 3 other ones filed as the same thing.
Oops. I mean, we're not gonna say. I mean, this thing is only 4 pages long or whatever. So, motion for continuance. Any of you guys that read this? Because I certainly did not today.
I didn't have time.
No, I did.
Okay, so Ivy, can you
I read it.
Or whoever fill us in?
Basically, let me pull it up so I can skim it while I tell. Basically, he was he's saying that February 12th is in like less than 2 weeks, basically.
11 days.
11 days. You have such a good memory. And he's going to be out of town. And normally, which I feel like I've seen them do this just in, all the different hearings that I've seen. It seems like they usually do talk to attorneys and say like, hey, when is everybody free so we can schedule this? Well, he was saying we didn't do that. They didn't do that. So I'm supposed to be out of town and we need to move it for that reason. But also because, and it's like I know what it said, but I don't know my legal stuff enough to explain it. Basically, there was something that like tipped him off that it was going to be a criminal contempt thing. It was like the MR.
It was the MI versus the MR thing, and I don't understand it fully either. But MI is the abbreviation that they use for civil contempt. MR is the one they use for criminal contempt. And I think there's an allegation that it should have been filed civilly, and it was filed criminally.
Okay.
That's my layman's overview.
And he's saying if it was filed criminally, then because from what he said, basically on the criminal one, you can get a fine or you can get jail time or you can get a fine and jail time. And
it was filed in the MR case, which is the murder case. Whereas he's saying it should have been filed as an MI case, which would be civil.
Yes. So not only is he not going to be in town when they scheduled it for, but he also would need time to basically get like the discovery, if we want to call it that, for the case, for that small part, and get a lawyer and basically just gather everything. If you just think about him having like a tiny little trial in the middle of a trial type thing, to get ready for that, and he wasn't given like that information or enough time because it's in 11 days.
Right.
Is that everything in a nutshell that was in there?
I mean, for the most part. I mean, he did make some claims about how that really shouldn't even be talked about because the Supreme Court is still outstanding in the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't there I don't know, I'm just going off of what I heard Bob talk about, but wasn't there something about him wanting this should have been filed as its own criminal case for criminal contempt?
Right. Well, yeah, whether it be criminal or civilly, they were saying it should have had its own filing, basically, and not been
under the Richard Allen, right? And then also that somewhere in here, and this could be the wrong document. Like I said, I was driving when I was listening to Bob, but he mentioned something about Rozzy basically saying that if this is not granted, we're going to file another writ.
Right. Yeah, there's a mention in the last part of it for that. And he also brings up that he thinks a special judge should be overseeing the any contempt motion or any contempt hearing. One thing I thought was interesting was that I don't think, does anyone expect Gull to deny the motion for continuance? Because I don't.
She's totally gonna deny it. Absolutely.
I keep hearing people say that, and it's like on one hand I'm like, there's no way, but then on the other hand, I was wrong about other things that I thought.
And like it's perfectly clear to me, and I don't know anybody else, but that Judge Gull had very few fucks to give at the beginning of this, and she's fresh out. So,
but to me, if she doesn't grant this, to me that's just like letting herself get kicked off for a disqualification for bias.
But she doesn't think so. She doesn't believe that she's doing anything wrong.
Well, I think some people are putting their own bias on the case that they already have on some of this. Rarely do judges not grant a continuance when it's filed. And I mean, the fact that, it's 11 days from now and Rosie says he's going to be out of town, I think is enough for Gull to say, okay, we'll do it a week later.
Right.
I agree. I think if she doesn't do it, I think she's really going to look bad. Like really, it's going to be very obvious. I think she's just going to say yes because she knows that if she does this,
Well, and I mean, when you follow enough cases, very rarely does a continuance motion get denied.
Yeah.
If someone says they need more time, they're almost always granted it.
But this case isn't like any other that I've followed for court hearings and records and motions. Like there's no logical reason why these people aren't waiting to hear the opinion of the Supreme Court to find out exactly
all of them.
All of them. Every
and
bit.
You know, and that was something mentioned in the filing. I thought was ironic by Rosie. Was when he talked about in this motion for continuance that nothing can be decided in this case until the disqualification of the judge has been ruled upon. And then he says that it is improper, or whatever wording he used, that Gull would grant, a contempt hearing before the Supreme Court hearing comes, before the Supreme Court written opinion comes out, because everything that matters is going to be in that written opinion, which I agree with him on. But he also then, kind of neglected to mention, but we did also file to disqualify the judge before the written opinion comes out. So it's like he definitely cherry picked that piece of information out when he talked about the continuance thing.
Cherry picked, yes, I agree, Espen, but I also want to point out that they did not start this pissing match, and that's all it is, in my opinion. That's all it is at this point.
Well, yeah, you say that, Charmaine, and I agree, and we've said all along who would be the first to start this pissing match. I mean, Gull issued 3 orders that had been outstanding in this trial. Right after the Supreme Court order came out. They happened to be against the defense. That doesn't mean that they were biased against the defense.
The appearance.
The defense then before the Supreme Court. I'm talking about things that were related directly to the Supreme Court matters. The defense filed to disqualify Judge Gull before the opinion came out from the Supreme Court. That's why I'm distinguishing the two things, because yes, I understand that it people might think there's bias because of the way she issued those 3 orders, but when it comes to matters before the Supreme Court, those 3 matters weren't before the Supreme Court.
No, but it lays some people are speculating, I'll put it that way, but they're really not. They're spouting off their opinion as fact as usual, but they are saying that by granting a hearing for contempt or whatever is laying the groundwork to hold a formal hearing that's going to turn into a disqualification for Rosie and Baldwin again. Right. So like I said, they're reading too much into it, but are they? We don't know. This is just bizarre.
I actually have a different opinion than that slightly about McClelland's. I actually feel like if you just look at it from like a strategy point of view, the contempt was a good move because it could go, it doesn't really matter what the opinion ends up being. If the opinion ends up saying that not only did Judge Gull not follow the correct procedure, but we also find like the merits of her decision, or however you word that, to like not be great either, then the contempts can still stand, because you could just do like a small fine or something for a sanction for leaving the pictures out for being in contempt of the protective order. But if the opinion comes out and only cites the procedure, then it could be, like you just said, an in for Judge Gold to then try to get them removed, going through the procedure that they wanted. So it almost sets him up for going like both ways, depending on what the opinion comes out as.
But if it is just the one way, like if it is just sanctions or a fine or whatever, to me that seems a little bit petty for something we've already aired it. You know what I mean? It's been to the Supreme Court. Like, we know he messed up. So to me, the contempt seems a little bit petty, unless there's a
kind of
bigger
disagree.
plan behind it.
Who messed up? You said he.
Baldwin.
Yeah.
By not locking down the
Because it
evidence.
wasn't argued. I mean, we've all talked about it, until it's dead. But that wasn't argued in the Supreme Court. Well,
no, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. But that was kind of the premise of what got us there, right? That leak, his insubordination, I guess, as Travis put it, insubordination, not ineffective. And at trial, that was the key. In front of the Supreme Court, that lawyer kept saying it doesn't affect their ability to represent him at trial.
That's why I thought the sanctions would be. In fact, I kind of, especially since they did that whole thing back when all that happened and said we could do like this fine or whatever, I, in a way, would almost think if they could just sanction them for contempt and give them a little fine and then just be done with it. Like, that's the repercussions of that. It's over. Let's just move on now.
Right.
Of course,
I'll leave it at that, though. Obviously, maybe, hopefully, but I doubt it.
I mean, I thought everything that Rosie put in his continuance filing was legitimate. I see no reason that Gull should deny it. I'll be surprised if she does. As far as the contempt thing, I mean, I think it's absolutely pivotal that they have that contempt hearing. If they want to disqualify Gull and they want to put that before the court, then absolutely it should also be put before the court. And remember, Nick McClellan and Gull are not the same. Everyone acts like they're they're calling each other every night. Like, what do you want to do tomorrow? I mean, that's not the case.
Well, obviously they're not doing that because he's not using the phone anymore.
You don't know what they talk about on their texting and stuff. I've got I don't even know what channel to pick, but, I'm playing devil's advocate.
He's not using the phone anymore. He's not texting or calling anybody.
You don't know that.
Only emails.
You don't know that. They could be Facebook friends.
McClellan's family member could have been on the softball team.
He probably had one on there.
Probably.
You know what? Nick was probably at the ball field with her granddaughter.
He's probably the coach.
Wouldn't that be some shit? Oh my gosh. And in a small town like that, it's totally, I could totally see it. Oh, that's so funny.
We don't know anything. And even if we can read all the case law that we want, and we can try to interpret it our own way and try to stick to facts, but none of this.
Right. I want that written opinion by the Supreme Court. Sorry, Charmaine.
Me too.
Absolutely. That's my whole point. None of this should matter until that opinion comes out. And then all of it's going to matter.
Right. Because, I mean, literally, if that Supreme Court says you did not follow the correct procedures to remove these two attorneys from this case, but you had but we agree with the fact that you removed them, I don't think that'll be in their opinion. But if it is, it absolutely will then change the narrative as far as the public is concerned, because no one will be able to dispute that, okay, now people are going to have to admit that Gull might have been within her right. She just didn't go about it the right way.
Absolutely.
And that's why all context is king.
I think, in my opinion, which is not worth a whole heck of a lot.
It is to me.
But I think that's what it's going to come out and say. I do. I know the lawyers disagree with me. They think that it's going to be, no, those are not grounds for removal. But I think it's quite possible that if that's what the judge thinks is incompetence and ineffective assistance of counsel, then get it on the record, have a hearing, and do your thing.
Charmaine, as an almost lawyer, one thing I can say about a lot of lawyers I know is it's very expensive to go through law school, and we all know that stress creates lapse in judgment. So sometimes I feel like when lawyers talk, they get things wrong because they've just got a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm. And clearly, what works in one courtroom in one state does not work in the next. You know what I mean? Like, this is.
I think at least a couple of the judges, and I don't really know how like the opinions work. Like if you have, say, 2 out of the 3 or 1 out of the 3 who voted to put them back on, if they think that the merit was,
we know the numbers.
well, I mean, I know that. I was trying to think, like, if 1 out of the 3 thought that those were not good reasons to kick them off no matter what, but 2 of them did, could they both write in the opinion? Like, could the 1 and the 2 write in the opinion, or would it? I think they just do the.
No, they all put their. No, you see, they're all of it. Have you ever?
I don't think they're all. I think they would just be both sides, like the dissent and the.
A dissent and an opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they don't break it out by judge. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I think at least 2 of them, if not 3, but at least 2, based on the questions they were asking, I don't think that they think that that was a legitimate reason to remove them.
Right, and they don't have to write a dissent, but if it's not unanimous, you know, the ones that voted against the popular vote, basically in the court, they have the right then to write a dissent.
I hope they do.
And we know that, you know, the only motion that was before the Supreme Court that was not unanimous was about bringing Rosie and Baldwin back, and that was it 3-2? How many? I can't remember. But
I think it was 3, or maybe it just said majority. I don't know.
No, we've heard the numbers.
So I think that they're going to, because there was, I mean, we all know that there's no case law that they could fall back on with this. This is creating precedent. So I think that opinion is going to be detailed, like so detailed, for and against. And that's why it's so important.
How many Supreme Court judges are there?
5.
5 on the panel?
Yeah, were there 5?
5.
Or 5 on the
panel. Right, so yeah, it was 3. It was 3-2 then for the bringing Rosie Baldwin back. But it was unanimous to go on. It was unanimous to, get rid of the whole 70-day thing.
It was unanimous to decline to grant the relief, the rest of the relief. They didn't, and I think it was Labreda that even said that. Well, they unanimously decided to let the judge stay on. Like, take that. No, that's not what they did. There's precedent for that. They threw it back down to the lower court. They didn't say, no, judge stays, everything else, whatever. No, that's not what happened. They said, deal with it in the proper way. There is no proper way to deal with what happened with these lawyers. There is a proper way to deal with your other relief requested. So go back and do that. So that's denied, but we're going to grant this other relief because there is no precedent. So now we're going to set that. That's what I think. My opinion. I should say my opinion, but no, nobody else does. So.
I mean, we all read the same paragraph order.
I didn't read shit.
I see it differently.
Well, I mean, that's what it said, is that they denied it. Yeah. It didn't say
all of the relief.
It just says we're denying the relief.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that, I'm quite sure when that opinion comes in, it's not going to say, we think Judge Gall should remain on the case. I think it's going to say, for the other relief, you need to go through the lower court.
I was just saying it was unanimously decided on.
Yeah. And I think it's because there wasn't a record.
Absolutely. All of it, I think.
Like 0 record for that.
I think all of it had everything to do with the lack of record, which blows me away that was so talked about during those oral arguments, yet that first writ was denied.
I agree. I thought that the first writ was the one that I was.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why that's another reason I'm so anxious to and excited to see the actual opinion.
Thanks, Shannon.
I will say though that even if it wasn't just about the record, I don't think at that particular time that they had enough evidence to show a personal bias against the defense. I think that they may have it now, the appearance of bias, but I don't think they had it at that time.
It'll be interesting to see which one she deals with first. The Davis case, is it Davis or Davies case, or this one with the motion to remove the judge or replace the judge or whatever?
Speaking of that, do you think there's anything to the hearing time, or do you think that was just complete?
I know, Ivy. I know you've been talking about that. I personally think she was just like, "Hey, Baldwin was going to be here already, so I'll make scheduling easy for him." I don't think she's thinking about Rosie.
It was canceled when it's been canceled.
Well, it's been canceled. Yeah, I know. I was like, when she scheduled the 9 a.m. on the 12th, I think she was like, well, hey, Baldwin will be here already for that other case. We'll cancel that one and we'll do Delphi that day.
Maybe she's putting it off because she fully intends to have the hearing and have them disqualified from Delphi so that he can go ahead and represent the other one. You know what I mean?
How long are hearings usually?
It depends on. I mean, we've all covered enough cases to know it depends on the hearing. Sometimes they're 8 minutes, and sometimes they're 7 hours.
Yeah, because I kind of wondered if maybe it was just a coincidence and they do them in like 30-minute blocks or something. I don't know.
I also have a question about the indictment. So in every other case, they've either gone through grand jury indictment or they've had a hearing.
You've been listening to Frank.
What do you mean every other case?
Well, when somebody is charged with something to decide if, or not even to decide if they're going to be able to lay charges and take them to trial, doesn't the grand jury have to issue an indictment, or they have, what is it called? I can't remember. Some kind of a hearing or a trial, not a pre-trial, but I can't remember what it's called, but something else where they hand down the indictment. Did that ever happen? Like, obviously it must have.
Usually waived. I think he ended up waiving it.
I seen one of the boys, one of the twins.
Through information or some. The court document says information on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, look at Brian Walsh. You know, he got arrested. They have a preliminary hearing. You have a bail. Whatever.
Preliminary hearing. Yes, preliminary hearing. That's it. That's what I was thinking of, because I'm thinking of Brian Kohlberger.
Adam said that, Shelley. Go ahead.
Brian Kohlberger, he was expecting the prelim, and then out of the blue, prosecution went and had a grand jury indictment.
Right.
And then if you look at the John Monet case,
there was a grand jury.
Right. And
they
came back with the decision that was in favor of charging the parents with child abuse or whatever, and the state's neglected.
Like Ray Hanisch had a grand jury for Garrett Kurtz. That's how they were able to bring charges against him. And sometimes it's when, well, actually, I'm not even going to say that because I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. But either way, in this case, there was not a grand jury. I've heard people say there should be or whatever, but charges were brought against Richard Allen. He had a preliminary hearing.
He did.
Yeah, he's had several hearings since then. He's never had I'm sorry?
Did he have a bail hearing?
I was saying bail's not in Indiana. If you're charged with murder, bail's not on the table.
Okay.
So, Frank, Buckface Frank, that one, he talked about this.
Be nice.
And, I'm sorry, I lost track of thought. Bob went on his live stream and they talked about it a little bit. And he basically said that in Indiana, they don't require grand jury, and a lot of times they don't have them very often. And that also in a lot of trials, I think they can waive the preliminary. Doesn't sound like they did here, but one of the other thing, I can't remember the exact wording, but it's something about like information. Has the word information in it, which is why if you go to like my case, a lot of the very first documents just says information, and that's like the charging information.
Didn't they waive Ashley Garth's preliminary hearing in the Nicole Bone case and just grant her bail without a bail hearing?
I don't know. She ended up getting bail because they did that. Oh, what's it called? They try to do it with Rick Allen too, where they say like, "Show me the evidence," and if you can't, we have to let them out.
And because they wouldn't show it, and because they didn't want to show it, they just gave her bail.
Yeah. I don't know if it happened at first. She went in jail for a little bit, but I don't think that
Yeah,
long.
she went in jail for a little bit, but I don't know how that exactly went. She ended up getting bond, and then basically she had to take a polygraph test or whatever. And if it was found that she was lying and failed that, then obviously, she was charged with.
Which I think I don't agree with that at all. Like, why are we using polygraphs?
Well, they're not admissible in court, right?
I know. So,
but they use them all the time, right?
But I don't know why. It's not admissible. Don't make big decisions with them.
I'm surprised that we haven't heard. Has Richard Allen taken a polygraph? I'm surprised we haven't heard about that.
You're surprised, really?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, no, I'm surprised. I mean, if you were either the defense and Richard Allen had been given a polygraph and passed it, you would think that would have been included in one of the defense filings somehow. If he had taken a polygraph and failed it, don't you think it would have been included in one of the prosecution filings somehow?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not admissible in court? I mean, just with the back and forth that's been going on.
How often do they even give those?
Well, we know that Elvis Field's sister got one.
But I wonder if she was like, "I'm not lying. I'll do a polygraph."
Yeah. Right. I can see her doing that. Like, they probably said, "You want to take a polygraph?" She was like, "Yeah, sure."
And polygraph, even though they're not admissible in court, I mean, usually they're used as an intimidation tactic.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I would
That's why you
do
use
one.
them. You go and you tell the person, "Hey, take it," because just to intimidate them and make them fear that you could see, even though they're not 100% either, but nothing else.
Yeah.
I have anxiety. I'm not taking one of those. They're not gonna be
I've
tripped up.
actually taken one of those in college. We were all hooked up to one.
How did it go?
Damn sororities.
Yeah.
They're serious.
But I purposely failed it. And
You've taken one?
Yeah. Yeah, in college we were all hooked up to one.
Oh, and you failed it.
I never really understood how you can purposefully fail it, because I don't know that much about it, but in theory, like if you're purposefully lying, if I were just to guess, I wouldn't think you'd have the same like physiological reaction as you do when you lie on purpose.
You know what, to be honest with you, I didn't feel any physical changes or symptoms or anything, and I thought, yeah, I got this guy, whatever, but no.
It all depends on the control questions.
Yeah, and they're very basic.
Yeah, it goes on the theory also that when people are usually people are guilty. Usually, if you're taking a polygraph, usually you're guilty, so you're nervous. So what happens is they measure your heart rate, and it goes with the heart rate, with the heart rate, and it goes.
What if you lie on purpose so you don't have the same like?
Well, some people can. I mean, I taken it as they tested on me, and some people, like I've seen people that are really good liars that they ask you and they pass, like people that are guilty but they're really pathological people, and they have passed it because there's no fluctuation. What they're seeing is that when you ask the question that you might not know the answer, or you are put in this, you get nervous, you get anxious, and that's what it measures.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard a rumor that you can get like a tack or something and like kind of poke yourself like in your shoe or your hand or something while they're doing the baseline questions to get your heart rate up a little bit from like the pain from that.
Just send me
and
that
then
link.
stop doing it.
Well, I mean, I've heard of that, but I also heard that it was debunked.
Yeah,
Well,
just
I heard a rumor.
send me that Amazon link if you have it.
Man,
Just in
I
case
wouldn't. I wouldn't take one for like an investigation probably, but I would love to know somebody who did them and just play with them all day.
Yeah. Sport with Steffa says, Alexa, could someone take a downer and pass a polygraph?
I wonder that too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's, you know.
Web Sleuths, they had a, she was a polygraph person, but she seemed like she really kept up with the science and the new technology and the new like ways you do things with her CEUs and whatnot. She does it in Florida, I believe. And it was really interesting. It wasn't that long ago, but she said that the actual polygraph, like where you're in the machine, doesn't take that long. It's mostly like the beginning questions and going, it's almost like an intake, like if you were going to counseling. And then they go through all your medications and they take all of it into account. But I remember wondering if, like, for anxiety, I take propranolol. And the way that that works is that it blocks your like adrenaline type thing and keeps your heart rate lower and your blood pressure lower because it's also used for blood pressure. And that's a lot of what they test. So I kind of wondered if you take propranolol, will that keep those things down enough so you can pass it? I don't know. Somebody buy one.
Sometimes, you know, in interrogations, when they interrogate, like, not so much criminal, that's like for international, for terrorists and stuff, they always like looking at the veins here. When you're interrogating, and especially body language and everything, there's a vein here, especially when people lie. And that's what I tell my kids all the time. It vibrates because people start getting nervous. And you can see it, that the vein starts popping more and more and more. And that's how, and you press more, and the more you press, the more you see it. And that's why sometimes a lot of people, it's drug dealers, mules, and everything, when they do borders, when they cross borders, they usually have scarves. And that's one of the reasons, because when they're passing, they're so nervous that they want to conceal their necks.
I didn't know that.
They're giving mules polygraphs.
I was gonna say they're making mules wear scarves. Like that sounds great.
Oh, you know, can I say I'm 2 minutes late, but I wanted to say something. I wanted to say really quickly. Rescue All the Dogs, who watches our channel a lot, had a birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Rescue All the Dogs.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Is that person in here right now?
No, I don't think so. But they're having a big birthday party tonight.
Oh.
But I hope at least. But like I said, I'm 2 minutes late. But I meant to say that earlier. But happy birthday.
It's funny you say that because I can't even remember what chat I was in, but I was somewhere yesterday and everybody was telling them happy birthday, and my hands were tied up at the moment. I was doing something else and couldn't type in there, and I felt bad. So happy birthday. Yeah, not doing anything fun either.
On there. So quickly, I want to go to that poll because that was what I was talking about before. So it says, Delphi, should we have Chris Todd on alive? He asked, so we are bringing it to you for your votes.
Where's the poll?
It's, what do you mean? The poll's in
I don't think.
It's in the chat. Just go vote no real quick.
Yeah, you have to go. You have to go to YouTube to do it.
Oh,
yeah, you have to go to YouTube to do it.
I did it when I did my memberships.
39% said yes. It was higher before. No, 27%. 10, are you effing crazy percent?
We'll let Ivy vote and then read it.
Yeah. And who's Chris Todd? 24%. For anyone who doesn't know who Chris Todd is, he's the one, of course, that wrote the book.
Who else just voted? Because I voted and it popped up to 40 on the I put yes, and then somebody else must have voted and it went down to 39, and now it's back up to 40 again.
Yeah,
Ivy, you said yes.
I will listen to him talk. I don't care.
Yeah, and he's got some, you know what? He's got Court TV watchers. So I'm looking out for Sunny's subs. We want to get those numbers up naturally.
Just Sunny's?
Yes.
Wait, so your vote is no, Charmaine?
No, heck yeah, bring him on. I'm all for it. I want to see you and Aspen rip him apart. No, I'm just kidding.
As long as he acts right, as long as he's at least semi-respectful.
Basically, go ahead. Actually, no, Adam, I'm going to speak for you on this one. So basically, I said back to him, look, I don't mind having, like a healthy debate with someone, and I don't. And I've always, I haven't minded thinking about if Chris Todd was going to come on there. but you don't be telling me in our conversation that basically anyone that says that Richard Allen is not innocent or that he's guilty of being the BG, basically, he said, basically, you're a loony. And that broke down the conversation right there, because I respect everyone's opinions when they're said in a respectful manner, that you're having a healthy debate and, you're listening to someone and you're listening to their side. And this is what always gets me, because, and I can do this just fine. I don't care if somebody's opinion is different than mine. That doesn't mean that they're right or I'm right or whatever. It just means that we have a difference of opinion. And I have no problem with that. I don't get into these moods where, oh my God, I can't watch this person because they're agreeing with this person or not. I don't like, that's just ridiculous child shit to me, that people should be able to come.
Sometimes I do.
And as what'd you say?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, my stress level just can't take this today.
Well, see, yeah, okay. So my stress levels are pretty okay, really, for the most part. But the thing is that I don't like, I'm not going to watch somebody if I don't like them. Simple as that.
If I don't want to.
In a sense. What'd you say?
Well, if I don't want to.
What if I don't want to? Is that what you said?
Yeah, if I don't want to watch someone, I won't watch them.
Yeah, if I don't want to watch them, I won't watch them. But I have no problem. Like, like I said, like Greeno, he was asking me to, and I think Adam as well, to join his channel, or if he could come on ours. And I'm like, basically, like, not today. There's a history there. There's not a good history there, but maybe at one point in life that might ever happen. Who knows? But there's a history there of, basically, all the different shit that's happened, right? And it was,
he's so like interested in coming on because he's been trying. Like,
that's what I keep wondering. Like, meaning my eyebrows always raised, because it's like, why does Chris Todd care to come on this channel? Why does Greeno want to come on this channel? Type of idea.
I'm secretly best friends with Greeno.
It's like,
what?
Why? Say it again.
Is Adam or Aspen secretly best friends with Greeno?
Maybe something like that, But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, why do they care to even try or ask? And that, like,
who wouldn't want to come on this channel? That's
that's what I'm thinking, right? Then, like, it's almost, I almost feel like the more that someone, I don't know, when you almost had, like, you repel people, but yet they keep wanting to, like, somehow talk to you still, in a sense. And it's like, why? Like, I would never be sitting there trying to do that with someone. The minute someone throws me shade is the minute I don't want to talk to you, type of idea, But I mean, we all know with, like, say, Greeno and whatever his face was, like, there was a lot of bunch of crap going on. And I can take the jokes, I can take the dissing, I can take all this, but it's kind of, but you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, okay, so you made it to my shit list. Have a good one. Take care. Don't really care at the end, but it's the fact that these people go out of their way to hurt you as a person, by putting up these
personal,
they take it personally, and they constantly put posts and all that stuff about you, or twist a video that you've done, and they're having a big laugh at their expense. Why? Because I'm a strong woman and don't take their bullshit? Like, is that what, gets them going? I don't know. I'm not this weak person to that, but I don't care either. But it's just the fact that instead of worrying about true crime stuff, they're too busy willing to attack, right? And like I said, so Chris Todd, with him, it was the fact that we had a conversation on Zoom or whatever it was, and he basically said that anyone that doesn't think Ron Logan is guilty is a loony. And
you talked to him on Zoom?
I think it was Zoom. Yes.
Ooh.
I think it was Zoom. And so the other Zoom was Skype.
That you were working at?
Pardon?
Was that one of the 900 numbers you were working at?
Yes, right. Yeah. But
1-900 BALDWIN.
Baldwin? What?
Baldwin.
But
I was just thinking of 7 letters. Sorry.
But it was the fact that he didn't want to hear anything I had to say. He only wanted to speak and over talk, and it just became that I might as well have been talking to a wall. So if I have the time to listen to what you're trying to say, and you have and you don't want to listen to what I'm, because you think that you're so right. So basically it's like that's kind of when I sent him an email back. I got no problem talking to Chris Todd and telling him that, I believe, like, I would like to hear exactly all the things properly, why he thinks that Ron Logan is the BG. And then he had, of course, change his tune a little bit because Richard Allen was arrested, but he doesn't feel like Richard Allen was on the bridge. He thinks it was Ron. Like, I don't have no problem listening to that. As long as you don't have a problem, Chris Todd, listening to the facts of, basically of the case and what Richard Allen is being charged for, et cetera, et cetera. So as long as it can be a healthy debate about that properly, right, then I have no problem with that. You walk away going, okay, thanks, great live. And you still walk away with believing whatever your stance is. It doesn't matter, And so, like I said, so to me, I just don't play these games and stuff like that, or want to deal with personalities that only think that what they're saying is correct and don't have time. So when he was on Court TV the other day, I felt like he was a lot tamer.
He was
holding back. Now that type of Chris Todd, I could talk to.
He was pretty good on Criminality's channel a while ago too.
I remember he was on Criminality, but there was a lot of questions he didn't answer either.
Yeah.
Chris Todd lost me when I watched his JonBenet. I think 3 minutes in, I was like, oh.
Really?
I've never seen it.
I don't follow him too much, but I think out of all of them, the JonBenet, he might be. Some things I think he's completely off.
I didn't even know he did stuff with JonBenet.
But some of his theory, at the end, does make a little bit of sense.
I thought that was
the microphone working.
Yeah, your microphone's working. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked that first 3 minutes. I didn't watch past the first 3 minutes. So I thought, what a lunatic.
Who does he say that?
Bizarre. Carry on with the conversation. I will refresh my memory just for you, Ivy.
Right.
I will let you know.
He thinks the guy that was nearby.
No, he doesn't.
No, he believes the dad did it.
Yeah.
It was an inside job.
Why is that so crazy?
He's got a channel. Yeah, he does have a channel. Can't remember what it's called. But he does
And
have
I do think that he backs it up. I believe it was an inside job too. And I think that's the case that I've seen with him, and he really follows it really through, and
I was expecting something like super crazy with Charmaine's reaction. And then it was the dad.
Yeah, which is really crazy because of this is not that night. If you guys want to talk to JonBenet, I'm happy to do so any other night.
I do think it's crazy that he thinks he solved it.
Yeah, Gray Hughes, I think that's about him too. Like,
that's okay. He can bash whatever he wants.
He's just upset because Sonny did a little video about his license plate, was it? Something?
Basically, yeah, I did a thing. And then he sent me an email basically telling me to take it down, that the other person's video got taken down because of whatever. Okay, granted, the other video was showing some personal information. I used a slight amount of that video. Just to whatever. Pardon?
What was it? A license plate?
Yeah, so he was pulled over. He got a speeding ticket when he was on his way to Idaho, and he ended up getting a speeding ticket. And then he was doing a live stream and whatever and stuff like that. So, the guy can sit there and call everyone names underneath the sun all the time, call everybody idiots and all that stuff. And dude, like I said, it's like a person that can dish it but can't take it. So he sends me an email basically taking, it's like something like, like there's no love between us. You know that you did this for this reason and blah, blah, blah. You know what? Shut the F up, Gray Hughes, because no, it was a joke. And you're, what the bottom line is that just like anyone, dude, it was meant to be basically funny. I don't give two rats, but he threatened to have me take it down before he puts a strike on it or something. Go right ahead on that 5 seconds of clip that I used to make. You ain't gonna get nothing taken down. You
would have been threatening him with double the points on his driver's license.
I just don't meaning it's like if you can dish it and you can say stuff all the time, then he can take it. Quit being a little wuss and then sending somebody an email saying, this and that. Like, dude, who cares?
He really can't do
the video. It was like
at all.
And then he tried.
I didn't come in there. I came in over here.
Oh yeah,
because it's an ego thing, because people like that, they like to feel on
absolutely
top. And
narcissist.
when somebody talks about them, it's like you're attacking me. You cannot be attacked. I attack, but you don't attack me.
Yeah. But that's
classical.
like I said.
Can I answer a question really quickly that was asked earlier? That I have to find it again. Oh,
just really quickly, Ivy. I sent you that video, but like for me, it was the first 3 minutes. I turned it off because it was just so outlandish, in my opinion. Maybe he gets a little bit more logical as it goes. I suspect he must if Alexa agrees with it or thinks it's good, but he was talking about Bible verses and stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is so not even close to what I heard anyone say.
Yeah,
Mark, I've heard him talk about people. Well, when I've heard him talk about it, he always talks about people who post those pictures like on Facebook, and that will put like the wings on like victims and like I don't know, RIP or whatever else.
Right.
And I kind of find those cheesy and don't really like them, but I'm not going to say anything about them because like do what you want.
Sorry, which Ivy? How about the wings on people?
Just in general, I think Mark said that he was talking about a video you did with wings, not one of the Facebook pictures.
Yeah.
Because I've heard him talk about the pictures. Those like memorial pictures where people make it look like they're all like, almost like they're in heaven. Maybe I guess is what it is with wings and all that. Those things.
Well, you know what? At least I make tribute videos. Gray Hughes, you're too busy telling everyone how much you donate, and it's all your viewers' money. It's not even yours. At least I do tribute videos for those girls, and I'm proud of my videos that I do. Even if, like I said, even if someone like Ivy doesn't if she's not into those things, I don't care. I do it for me first and foremost as my thing to them. But anyways, if somebody else wants to bash that again, don't actually care. Literally,
his problem, not ours.
I have like a 0 care level.
And how does he even know about him if he doesn't like you?
Well, because he watches everything. I have no problem with Gray Hughes. Well, I mean, you know what? Gray Hughes is Gray Hughes.
Gray Hughes is Gray Hughes.
And so I'm like, I think he does a lot of good things, and I don't care for what reason he does them. It's not my business. So, I have no problem with Gray Hughes, but Gray Hughes always has an opinion on other people, and that's fine. But
I would agree with all of that.
I respect a lot of things that Gray Hughes does, and but if Gray Hughes isn't the one. He's okay with giving to bashing anyone else that isn't him.
Yeah, he watches the channel and bash.
But again, I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to start beef.
He has done good things.
He's done good things,
but his narcissistic
community and his community does really good things.
Right.
It's not even necessarily him; it's his community.
Yeah. And whatever, each to their own. But I could give 2 rats ass about Gray Hughes' opinion of me, Gray Hughes' opinion of it. He seems to have opinions about everybody, and
don't we all?
It's just Gray Hughes. Meaning, I take him for what he is. It's Gray Hughes. He offends a lot of people, and he has a lot of people that follow him, and the freaks and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, whatever. Like I said, I got freaking whatever.
Cute dogs.
And my mom is sick, and I will say that I really hope that his little doggy gets better or can manage its disease.
I don't know the comment that I was talking about earlier. I can't find it now, but I do have to go in a few minutes. I know that sounds lame, but I don't know how much later everyone else wants to go, but
no, I'm good. I mean, we're definitely not going to end it off talking about Gray Hughes. I'll tell you that much. We're going to play that video and we'll see if it gets a strike or not. So, only because, again, it's called something pants or whatever.
Oh, I know the comment that someone asked me. Someone asked me, and I'm sorry, I think it might have been Anthony France. I can't remember, but I think someone asked me my opinion on. Oh wait, there's another question for me. But I think someone asked me earlier about if I think BG or Rich John, whoever, came back on a motorcycle. If I believe that theory.
Oh, okay, right. Heck no. Come on now.
I do not think that anyone returned to the crime scene on a motorcycle.
One of the loudest things
Absolutely,
out there.
100%. I do not think it happened.
I am so happy to
I
hear
swear,
that.
if that ends up being what happened, I'm just gonna hang my true crime.
Yeah.
Up.
Right.
With my sleuthing slippers in the fireplace.
You might as well be on a jet ski.
Right.
And which is all most people. If you've watched this channel for a long time, you know, like that's my favorite. Like, my favorite theory is
The other group that I've been friends with, ours is the canoe, which is very similar to the jet ski.
Yes.
Oh, the canoe.
But at least a canoe is quiet.
Yeah, a canoe isn't as crazy. In fact,
it was not a helicopter.
What's his face went down in a little boaty thing.
It was
I'm not
definitely the jet ski.
And CGK, I'm not dissing any creator that thinks it's legitimate. I understand where the information came from. I understand where all of the people that think that it might be legitimate, I understand why they think that it might be legitimate. I just don't believe in the validity of the information that it came from, because I got the same information. And I don't believe there was truth to the information that some other people believe it to be true.
And
I don't think anyone's misleading. I don't think any creator is misleading people when it comes to that. I just think some people believe something that I don't believe to be true.
I like the Lawless
I
comment.
do like their comment. I think that there's been quite a few different rumors that lately have all been kind of tied together in a little bow in a way.
Well,
but when
they
you
all
really,
come from,
I was going to say, like when you ask questions, they all go back
to Mark Roberts.
Yes, and that's where I'm like,
everything comes from that index.
Yeah.
That may or may not have been altered.
Where did the tracks come from, though? Did that come from the index?
The motor. There's a mention of. Oh, I honestly I have to go back and look to see the exact wording, and I don't. But
I have wondered where. Well, I think I know where the tracks came from. Never mind.
Yeah. And again, I could be wrong. I'm just giving my opinion.
I doubt that someone's going to return to the crime scene on a motorcycle.
There's the long one? Yeah, take the long one. Okay.
It's freaking loudest thing out there. Brrr, just by the way, vroom, vroom, vroom. He's coming back to get some evidence.
You know, there are so many quads and stuff out there. The sound
quads.
been muffled, and you know.
Another thing is that Brad went home at 3:30. So he would have been. Brad Weber got home at around 3:30, so he would have been returning home as Richard Allen or Bridge Guy would have been going to Kay's to clean up or whatever he was supposed to be doing before he came back with the motorcycle. They would have met almost.
I just can't with all that stuff. You know, like at first it was like.
Not to mention, Kay Weber has said that didn't happen.
That didn't happen, yeah. And that there's no sink in that Barney thing either.
Kay Weber has debunked the whole garage or outbuilding theory.
Yeah.
And it's her property.
That's
so bizarre because I've heard that is all so true. Like they've seen the evidence, man.
Oh
How
yeah,
can
right.
people sit here and
None of
debunk
us have seen it though. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone when it comes to this case. That's what it feels like, the Twilight Zone. And I would just like it, you know, to get more back to just the truth and facts of it, really. And, you know, like I said, we're at the point. Hey?
You said get back to that. When have we ever been to that as a Delphi community?
This is true. This is true. I mean, I guess this channel really just wants to stick with the facts and the you know, the court paperwork. Go ahead, Adam.
I'm just glad that the Scott Peterson people have finally caught up, and they're like, maybe it was Satanists.
Right?
Are they really saying that?
Yeah, they are.
Yep.
It's a Satanist group.
Yep.
Well, Satanist, like the whole Satanist ritual sacrifice is one of my, like, if you want to make my blood pressure double in 5 seconds. Oh my gosh, my brain will blow up at somebody.
It was the Satanists.
Okay. I think so. For tomorrow, you guys don't forget that we're going to be doing the Canadian true crime, and it should. I haven't heard back from Stevie. Have you yet? Sure.
No, and he wasn't in Bob's chat either, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So, Charmaine, what? I don't want to hear Sunny say it. I want to hear Charmaine.
Okay.
What case are you doing tomorrow?
We are digging into Bruce MacArthur, the serial killer from Toronto, known as the Santa Killer.
The Santa
Oh,
Killer?
wait.
Santa.
Yes, he was a shopping mall Santa Claus on his off time, but he murdered a number of gay
In the planters.
and he put their body parts in planters. You bet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, because we were gonna do Terry Driver one week, but then I can't remember. Like, because that's when I postponed because I was going through the whole bunch of stuff going on in Charmaine. I think that's the same weekend you were visiting your thing, and then
I'm having an earthquake.
Your parents. You go. Who's having an earthquake?
I'm having an earthquake.
You think you're having one right now?
I definitely am.
We had 3 earthquakes yesterday.
It's the Satanists.
Totally.
They're giving me a gentle little shake.
You think how the Vikings are doing some sort of ceremonial thing, or
It's groundswell.
Made
Oh
my
God.
house make
Groundswell.
noise.
Oh my God, Ivy, where are you? Oklahoma? Oh, it's groundswell.
sees through?
Or fracking, whichever one.
Yeah, sees through. It just might simply be because I can only do 3 things in a 24-hour period, basically, or else. Did anyone get a notification at all? Anyone in here? Did you guys get a notification?
I did from you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Oh,
Odin
it's
proud of
pounding
that.
his hammer.
So everybody missed the Eileen, the guest, the special guest.
I know that was so funny. I know that's why I was making fun of you because Alexa was asking me who was the special guest Eileen. I've never heard of this person.
So,
Eileen
right on red says Odin pounding his hammer. Sounds like a fun weekend.
Adam didn't listen to me when I just read that one. Okay.
So before you play that video, should we give a little bit of, because it's more of an inside joke, I think. I don't know that we've ever talked about.
I don't know if we should tell the story because according to Murder Sheet, that is very offensive and none of us should be talking like that.
Do I look like I give a shit?
What video?
I forgot about Murder Sheets.
It's funny.
It is funny.
Okay, go on. Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if I approve this or
I don't know. Adam, didn't you say you needed to go? Pretty sure you needed to go on there.
Well, what is it?
I don't know. I have no
Nick
idea.
McClelland, men nowadays, not just Nick McClelland, okay, it's the style. It's the style. And some men like wearing very fitted, tailored suits.
Oh,
I do like a fitted suit,
Well,
I will say.
Let's just remember if the shoe were on the other foot, would we still be okay with it?
Listen, I'm not sexualizing Nick McClelland in any way, shape, or form. I'm just not. But Ivy had sent a picture, and it was hilarious. And I'm not going to say anything about the picture. However, I seen this video on Saturday Night Live, and I made the connection. That looks just like Nick McClelland. Oh my gosh. It was funny to me. And other people in the group also thought it was funny. But I don't think the chatters will understand the joke. So
so you need to self-explain? Okay.
I was just giving a little bit of background on the reason that I find this video so funny.
Okay. This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, this is the end of our night then because we're playing this clip now?
I think so.
Okay. Well, before we do that, we have to thank Charmaine and Gail Hurd for the memberships that they gifted people tonight. And we also have to thank Metal Mama Michelle for her $10 donation, Gail Hurd for her $10 donation. And I think that's what I'm seeing. Shelly had donated $5 earlier today to thank me
Thank you,
for
Shelley.
the help of the flyer. Sees through. I'm liking it. You know why? Because I walked out there saying, honey, I earned $20 for you from Sees Through because I was able to do a live because you left the bedroom. Now I went to go close it off this morning, like the live because I still had it open, like meaning like in YouTube Studio, and it said you earned $34.21, and I was like, see-throughs from Great Britain, the UK, and I'm forgetting this, right? Because it said pounds. So I just want to tell you, see-through, I appreciate that because I thought it was only just like a 20, and I was like bragging to husband about the 20, but it was $34.21 here in Canada, folks. It'd be cheaper in the US, but because in Canada, isn't that crazy though? That money difference. That's
I didn't know see-through was from there.
well, only because it came up pounds. Because I always thought see-through too was in the United States for some
Really?
reason.
Where are you when we have conversations?
I
You
always
seem
mention-
American see-through. I don't know what that means, but you seem American.
So yeah, so then it just reminded me because I don't know why, because I was thinking that see-through was in America for some reason, and no, it's because my brain doesn't hold the information anymore. So I might remember it the one day, but I'll totally forget it the next. And
I remember.
but because it showed up in pounds, I was like, oh, that's the United Kingdom. Obviously, that was for the husband being from UK. I see it. The bond was there. But anyways, so I just want to thank you. So now I can tell my husband that it was actually $34 to get him out of the room so I could do a live yesterday on there. So
Wait, Sonny, that means he's going to start napping more.
right? And I was
He's like, well, okay, well, I'll just start laying down in here more often.
Yeah, right.
Is that why you had it live last night?
Well, I had yes, that was the last night live. That's correct.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know. I woke up this morning. We were all giving her crap in our private chat.
Oh,
and
were
I
you?
woke up this morning to like, well, no, remember when we were and you were like, sorry, someone else do it. Charmaine, you do it. Adam, you do it.
Yeah.
And then I woke up this morning.
You guys.
I woke up this morning to like 3 messages from random people that said, "Are you not going to join Sonny on the live?" And I was like, "What live?"
Figured you got the notification. I was trying to surprise you guys.
I watched TV and then went to bed.
Because husband, I didn't expect you to join anyway. I figured you'd be like too tired. But anyways, I was trying to surprise you guys because, without telling you and yet let you guys get the notification. Because my husband ended up getting that. And I was
So
like,
you put entirely too much trust in the notification system.
Yeah.
I know.
Plus, my notifications are off for everything. I never get a notification.
oh, look at that. Look at Deb just did.
Oh,
Hey there, sweet Deb. Yeah.
Ivy's gonna get
Find
one.
your- Deb,
Deb, you have one?
Go ahead. What'd you say, Ivy?
Oh, Aspen said I was going to get one, and I said I already have one.
I'm just playing.
Hold on. Let me see. So Sierra got one. I can't. Gerald's, I think is the last name. Ryan. Oh, hi, Ryan. Ryan's if he's in here or not. But anyways, he got one.
Love you, Deb.
Crimezilla got one. R got one. Remember, there's that person that's named just R. And then Hazel Shorts. Well, I haven't seen that name before. So thank Deb very much for those. And Deb, I appreciate that. Was not expecting that. I didn't see her. I'd asked her. Oh, I went blurry. I'd asked Deb if she wanted to join the live as well tonight or whatever. But One second. Because my camera's all blurry right now. It's going off. It's going off fast. Oh, there we go. That's better. There we go. Yeah. Deb, how long have you been stalking us? For a while now? On there. But anyways, yeah. So she said sometimes, Deb.
Oh, Lord. I'm so tired of Rick Astley.
You shut up over there. You shut up. Me and Charmaine are rocking out. Who else is rocking out? Ivy, are you rocking out?
Rick Astley, I'm sorry if you're here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Deb's going to need to come up here pretty soon. It's been a while.
It's been too long.
Yeah. Hey, Deb, are you fully monetized now?
Oh, my Sonny, look.
Rick Astley. He loves
Did you
it.
see? I said I'm tired of Rick Astley, and look who popped in.
I know Rick Astley. He does that. He lurks, and then all of a sudden he hears Rick Astley, and then he knows it. He's like, "I hate that song," and I'm like,
I was just kidding, Rick Astley.
Yeah. He knows it. It's like Miss Dog Lover. She wanted to have Rick Astley. On there. So yeah. So anyways, he knows he loves it. Bottom line is, and so now it's the membership one instead of the super chat one. So it goes off. So anyways. Oh, I need about 300 hours. Okay. And you guys know Deb's links in the description of this video or all the videos and lives that we do. So she needs 300 hours. Okay, guys? Deb's a great lady, great person. Go support her. Even turn on her longest video and just watch it. Even if you fall asleep to it, she won't care. Just turn it on and listen to it. Put on the playlist.
You won't fall asleep. She always has like great music, great content.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
300 hours out of 4,000 it takes, okay, to get fully monetized.
Right.
So 300 hours. So go help support Deb, guys. You know, she's one of the best people that I've met in true crime. And thank you, Deb, for doing that and giving people and paying it forward and giving others memberships here. So thank you. And thank you to Charmaine again and Gail Hurd for doing 2 of them. And to, again, Metal Mama Michelle and Gail Hurd and Shelly and Cesar and Lacey did some and Sharon Parker had done some as well. Everyone turn on the 10-hour live and go to sleep. Pretty much, right? On there. But yeah, 300 hours, that's good. That's getting there. Almost there. Okay, so we're going to head out. So does anyone have anything else to say before we play this video that Charmaine has chosen?
I just preemptively feel bad for, I'm sure, whatever headaches the county clerk in Carroll County has to go through next week with all the random filings that'll probably come out then. Every time I talk to the county clerk in Carroll County, I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna bother you again. And she's always like, no problem, no worries, don't worry about it, it's good. And I'm like,
Faith.
But
I'm pretty sure.
Are you gonna feel that way when I message you in 5 minutes?
Yeah, pretty sure she likes me more than you, Adam. I sent her.
She actually told me. She actually told me who she likes the most. I have
it
the whole
was
list
me.
of
Thank
all
you.
of the creators that she likes the most, and
it was me. Thanks.
You're actually not in the top 3.
Yeah.
But every time I'm like, hey, see you tomorrow.
Right. Pretty sure she liked the Northern Lights pictures the most.
You didn't see the pictures I sent her.
That's sure me. Yeah. Okay, you guys ready for this spectacular? Let's see here. Let me go to it. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, you sure there's no copyright on this, right?
I mean, there shouldn't be. It's Saturday Night Live. It's everywhere.
That's usually a copyright.
Yeah.
How can it be a copyright if it's allowed on TikTok?
Because TikTok allows you to use certain songs. That's why. And so let me, if I put something on TikTok and I try to use it from my free stuff, I'll get a copyright thing. But TikTok allows you to use.
They're just singing. It's not a song. They've made up a song and they're singing it.
Okay.
Well, Sonny, play it, and if
I was going to say, if it gets
Saturday
in there,
Live, so at worst it's going to be a copyright claim, not a
it's got
strike.
copyright claim, and then
I'll pay you your $30 or whatever you'll lose. I'll just pay it.
I mean, is that 15 each?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Are you guys ready? Good night. Okay, hold on.
No offense to anybody on this. I'm not mad.
She's not mad, bro. She ain't mad. Okay.
Is that Tom?
There's Nikki. Woo!
Everyone in town loves my tight pants.
If that's not McClellan, I don't know who is.
Right. Pants on. Please just gather around and see my tight pants. Get real low and I can get real high. I can get real in the middle, knowing I'm the only guy that's wearing tight pants. I'm the only one.
Slow down there, Captain. You say people are talking about your tight pants down at the village square? Well, I find that hard to believe because ever since I moved to this town, everyone I know has been talking about my tight pants.
Whoa, now that's top shelf negatory there, rookie nuts. Because ever since I was born, I've been making sure that my pants were all tight, all tight, all tight. Here's the new rules. I am the only one who gets to wear tight pants in this town. You got it? Why? Because my pants are the tightest. My pants are the smoothest. And they're great for sipping cocktails. Plus, they're 100% organic and made from the finest Blue Weber agave. Comprende, compadre?
What the hell are you talking about?
Now, you best put a lid on that lanyard, Captain Pooping Stock, before I get all holy up in your coyote. I'm not talking about the pantalones here covering my chicharrones. I'm talking about my new tequila, pantalones. You squeezing my lime up in his palm?
Loud and clear, Buccaneer. I guess I'll find a new town.
People like my tight pantalones. People like my tight pantalones. Got my
I feel like if anybody didn't find that funny, I feel sorry for you.
That's why I said I don't want to be your friend if you don't.
I'm wearing tight pants right now.
Oh no, I love stuff like that. Love
He
Matthew
looks like
McConaughey.
Nick McClellan. I'm sorry, he does.
Somewhat, doesn't he? Somewhat.
He does. I'm sure not the pants, but you know, the reference is there. It's fine.
Pantalone.
If I was a guy and somebody said that I look like Matthew McConaughey, I would not be offended.
I wouldn't either. And you know what? I was just going to say, well,
Go ahead.
Aspen, earlier you were like, well, how would it be if we switched it around? And after I was like, yeah, I guess. But then I was thinking about it. And I'm like, if a woman was up there as like an attorney and her nipples were like poking out everywhere, I would be cracking up.
Absolutely.
But if it wasn't actually the attorney, that
I didn't know that at the time. Okay.
That's my thing is the sexualization of someone that when it's not even the actual person, it's just someone trying to make a joke about the person.
People
can kind of makes it not as funny, but
Hey, I think it's hilarious. I'm not taking the moral high ground here. I think it's funny. I'm just saying people would be like, oh, you can't say that about someone if they were saying it about Kara Weineke.
If it was a female, that's a total double standard, and I don't agree with it. I mean,
It
men
is a double standard.
are, they're.
it is a double standard. But we get the shit into all their double standards, though.
No, except again, like I said, I'm not the moral police. So I think it's hilarious. I agree with you all.
Oh
So
God, there's so much.
I'm just pointing out that I'm like, we can't deny the fact that it would be a different conversation if it was a woman.
Yeah, and like I said, I was disappointed that it wasn't real. Anyway, I didn't know for a long time.
I would have been impressed if it was real.
I would have been like, oh, now I understand so much.
That boss license plate makes a lot more sense.
I was going to say the same thing.
That's my point. Everything would have made a lot more sense.
Alexa, did you laugh?
No.
She probably wasn't even
No,
watching.
I didn't. I mean, that's not my type of humor.
It's juvenile.
Or it's not?
Alexa's a little too elegant to probably find my stuff funny.
Old-fashioned food, boring. I don't find that.
That's my
It's not the fun. It's not the actual video that's as funny.
I think it's the context. Yeah, that you guys have.
It's the private joke about it, or the. No, the actual video was funny too. No,
I think so.
I like.
I sing it all the time, and it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman wearing tight pants. I sing that song to them. I got my tight pants on. It's great.
Okay. Okay. So before we go, any last words from Alexa? Anything to say besides on Monday we are doing Rex Yorman? You're going to make a video.
He has a court date on Tuesday. I wanted to see if I can go. I'm not sure if I can.
Does he have a court date on Tuesday?
Yeah.
What's that one for?
I don't recall.
Is it in regards to the water? No.
No, it was planned I think it's just one of like a procedural kind of thing.
Oh,
'Cause I
okay.
know it was booked like 2 months ago, but I know I got a notification.
Yeah.
On Tuesday.
I'd
No,
have to
it's
take a
Tuesday
look.
the 6th. Yeah.
The what? The 6th?
Yeah. The
Okay.
6th.
Okay. So is there anything else that you wanted to say at all, Alexa, before we
No,
go?
I mean I would be interested. I mean, I'm interested in the Kansas City, so we're keeping an eye and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And Ivy, did you have anything else to add?
No.
Charmaine?
Other than just
Tits
you
up?
know,
Okay.
hold on to your butts next week, I guess, because hopefully that opinion comes out.
Yeah, I know, right? The opinion. It would be nice to see that come out, wouldn't it? All right. And Aspen, I feel like you've had enough to say for tonight, as a matter of fact. I feel like you're good. You go to sleep now, baby. Yeah. You good, Jan? Are you pouting? Go ahead. What do you have to say, Adam?
No, I just want to appreciate everyone for being here, of course.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people have really passionate opinions about the case. All of us do probably as well. But I find it really rare to be able to watch a live stream regarding the Delphi case right now and have it not just be an echo chamber of people that feel the same way or people that are just too afraid to actually give an opposing view. So I really appreciate our community because I feel like people can openly talk about things here that are different opinions, and they're not attacked and ridiculed for it. So I think that's rare, and I appreciate it.
It is nice.
It is.
We hear that a lot, and yet, like I said, the drama stuff gets like the viewers and whatever, and all that.
And a lot of people don't want to hear opposing views, which is why I think sometimes you see, more people in different channels, and that's fine. But I just find there's so much toxicity right now.
Yeah.
When it comes to people are choosing their content and their and what they watch, basically just to confirm what they already feel. And I that's never been the way I've done things in life. So it's kind of disheartening, but I am at the same time very grateful for the people that are here because they're willing to hear different views and not make it personal.
And it's also nice, when you're talking and you have different views that you are being respected. Because sometimes, a lot of people are afraid, like you were saying, that to say, an opposing view, especially with the content creator. And that was like one of the first things I always told Sunny, and I respect her for that because I said, if you want me to agree with you all the time, then I will never come. And she always said, no, you have free range. You can say whatever you want. I will not be offended. And that's one of the things I admire. And I really thank you for it, that you never have gotten upset, even when we had totally opposite views. Of course, you always come back and say, Alexa, you were right. But
intellectually dishonest to just feel, I don't know, maybe not intellectually dishonest, but just to always be in an echo chamber. Like, how do you ever learn anything? Or
that's my point too. Like if we all agree, then we're never going to learn anything. There's no growth there. There's no knowledge. You can't teach somebody that knows everything anything.
Yeah.
And that's why those other channels, they just live in this vacuum that's so toxic. And I don't understand why this channel isn't more popular.
Same.
Because they're not going to come in here and get attacked for having it. However, they're
Sonny has them all blocked.
Yes,
It's-
ask Stephanie how long her
it's
block
the-
list is.
It's the way that they've all become, that they're really abrasive, and do you know what I mean? Like the way that they even are in chats is like, that's not something I think that would fly here. So I don't know.
Well,
It's very strange.
I just like the fact that so many people say this is that regardless, sadly, sadly the world is what it is. And people like drama, and me and the docket were just having this conversation the other day. Same thing, right? You try to do stuff with the integrity, the honesty, the sincerity, the genuineness of everything. You try to care about people, and I'm not into people sitting there, telling each other off and all that drama stuff that goes on, or coming in with this negative poison into the chat and stuff like that. Because to me, this is supposed to be a space about caring about crime cases, other people, and that's so again, when people are always attacking, or I'll say, or their mods are heavy-handed with their like I see that all the time, where the mods are just like deleting the stupidest stuff. It's like blocked, gone, whatever.
Well, they threaten you.
And I'm just not into that. Like I said, unless there's some real like I said, we can have a conversation. Unless there's some real toxic shit happen, I'll pretty much point those people out and tell them to knock it off. Because again, you have to respect somebody else's opinion. You might not agree with it, and I don't give a shit if your temperature boils like this, whatever. That's a you problem. It's not a whatever.
But there's very little of that respect going around for other people's opinions.
Yeah, and I don't
That's
actually.
sad.
The thing is that I don't really involve myself in the drama of other channels, and that's why you always hear me say I barely watch a channel. I'll usually watch it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but I don't.
I'm talking about the community. I'm talking about the people watching.
The community in general. Yeah. But I'm very grateful that people can come in here, that they can laugh, they can have some, like I said, just joking around time, that we can talk about cases, and that we can also have, healthy debates between all of us. Again, right? Because just like Charmaine today was like, well, Adam, I don't agree with you on this and whatever. And that's absolutely fine.
Wait,
we know that.
You said that?
Constantly,
all the time.
You never listen to me.
Yeah. So I do.
One of the things about the chat also, it's like over the years, like we become almost, and I always say it's like a family. Like,
family.
We agree to disagree, but it's so nice that we know so much. Sometimes when I'm not here, I get all the time, they email me or text me, or they're like, oh, where are you? And it feels really nice that people care, that they're like, oh, I haven't seen you, or if I'm sick and they send, or they know something is going on in my life. So it's really nice and really refreshing to see.
I'm sorry, I've never done that to anybody. I don't remember myself from the next day to day, so I still miss you.
I absolutely love that people are like, they're saying stuff about tight pants. So I think I've accomplished my goal. Everybody's going to be singing tight pants.
Never going to be able to see him again.
Yes, probably to be my dream.
I do want to make one correction before we go, is that Charmaine meant to say she always agrees with me 100% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stick to the facts, bub.
I'm pretty sure Charmaine says, Adam, I always agree with you, but I just like to add on to what you said.
I'd like to file a continuance to that motion.
I object.
I object.
I'd like a disqualification of the judge.
Anyways, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for all your love and support to this channel. And, thanks, Charmaine, because like you, I understand too. I just always feel like sincerity, genuineness will win overall, even though when you look at things from the outside, the insider looking out or the outside looking in, whatever, it's really hard sometimes when you try to have all those things, components, and being a caring person, and yet it's the drama and the crap that goes on that people seem to enjoy the most. But it's not my way, never will be my way. The channel will grow as it grows. But I do like healthy debates. So I will message Chris Todd, because I think our 41%, because we talked about this before, but he wanted it his way in a sense. And I was like, yeah, I'm not playing your games. This is like this channel. So if he does want to come on and have a healthy debate with us, So be it. We'll do that. And again, he can have his opinion all he wants, as long as it's just respecting the other person's opinions. You know,
Act like adults.
Absolutely. You know, but so with that being said, you guys, thank you guys so much. Please hit that like button, hit that share. Don't forget to support Shelly's missing poster as well. You can find it on the community page. You can find it on the It's Crime and Shame Facebook. You can find it on the Twitter and all that good stuff. And tomorrow, don't forget, Charmaine, myself, and Chibi Stevie will be covering the Bruce MacArthur Santa Claus case, the Canadian case there tomorrow. I'm not sure what time we're doing it. I'll have to talk with Charmaine about that, and hopefully Stevie can get back to us. If not, I guess we'll just cover it ourselves with or without. But anyways, yeah, other than that, you guys have a great night. You guys ready to go now? You guys ready?
Ready.
Okay. Good night, guys. You guys take care.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
A Norfolk night, the world is cold. We stand surrounded. We are not